I am on MSC Meraviglia, Meraviglia. I don't know how you say it. I lived in Italy for a few years, so I'm going to try to add a little Italian twist to it. Meraviglia, I think is how it's pronounced. Maybe not. I'm starting this live stream way early because I made a mistake, and I scheduled it at 1. I didn't realize that MSC's Man Overboard is much different than what I was used to on Princess. You can't just go do it yourself, and so I had to start way early. How you doing, Baseball Blake? What's going on, buddy? Mark, how you doing? Hey, can you guys let me know if my audio is okay? I've got my audio mic on. And once we get that, we'll start getting started. I know I screwed up and did it at this time, so it's going to be a little bit different. Hey, call me V's in the house. What's going on, V? All right, audio is great. Can you guys hear the music? Last time I got copyright striked. One of the big differences I'm noticing about MSC already is the music is more modern. It's more, top 40 type of stuff instead of, on Princess it's a little bit, most of it's older music, right? So, yes, hello all you beautiful people in the chat. Again, this is a Q&A. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask them. Put question in big letters so I'll see it. I am on my phone, so the chat moves super quick. So I'm not sure if I miss it, just put it in there again. So I just left Princess, Sky Princess, after 21 days. Yesterday was bittersweet. I love that ship. I'm going to miss it. And today I walked on board MSC Meraviglia, and I'm going to be on here for 11 days. And then I head up to Baltimore, and I hop on Enchanted Princess for 28 days. So over the next couple of weeks, I'll have been on 3 different cruise lines: Princess, MSC, and Royal Caribbean, which is pretty cool, I think. All right. Going Green Mom says, I was wondering why it was early. Yeah, I screwed up. MSC does their Man Overboard all at once, and I don't know exactly what time that is. And so if I'm on a live stream, you got to go down to your stateroom, you got to watch a video, you got to call a number, then you got to go somewhere. So yeah. Mark said, do I ever get bored? I haven't gotten bored yet, man. 21 days of cruising so far. Today will be 22 days. I have not gotten bored so far. But yeah, so I've hopped on MSC Meraviglia today. You'll see it. See all these beautiful people in the background. Everyone's boarding. I got really lucky on MSC. They match status from other companies. So I have max status with Hilton. I'm a Hilton Diamond member, and so I got the max status with MSC. That's how I got on so early. I was one of the first people on because I'm their black card, which is their highest status. So that's pretty cool. I met another YouTuber. He's his name's Dan O'Brien, I believe, and he is a casino live streamer, and he does work on MSC live streaming from the casinos. What is your first impression of MSC? Asked Bo. So I'm on MSC Meraviglia, which always gets praise for how beautiful it is. It's much different than Princess. Princess has a more, elegant feel to it, where MSC is kind of like walking into a Vegas casino almost. It's very opulent and very beautiful. You walk into the main atrium area. It seems so much bigger than Sky Princess, and I don't really think it is, but it just seems so much bigger because I haven't really got to explore the ship yet, so I don't know 100%. But inside the ship, it just feels huge, and I feel like I'm in a Las Vegas hotel. To be honest with you, it reminds me of like MGM Hotel. It reminds me of actually the one it really reminds me of is the name slips me. But yeah, it feels more like an MGM Hotel, where Princess Cruise is more of an elegant, I know I'm on a cruise ship type of environment. Like where the elevator banks are, there's like these plushy seats you can sit down in here. It looks very Vegas-y kind of vibe, and yeah. So my first impressions are pretty good so far. Are the MSC ships bigger, thus at further away ports? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Baker. I don't think this ship's that much bigger than Sky Princess. Maybe it is. I don't think it's that much bigger. And I think they probably draft similar, so I would think they would be able to go to the same ports. The thing I think that I'm going to really like about MSC, to be honest with you, is their private island. So they have a private island, which is a nature reserve. Google it, it's called Ocean Cay. You'll see why I'm really excited about it. It's not like Royal Caribbean's private island, which has basically an amusement park, water park on it. It's a nature reserve. That's how they got the island. They promised to like rehabilitate it and turn it into a nature reserve. And there's actually students there that study marine life there. But it's also obviously a stop for MSC Cruises. And I'm going there, I think, for 3 days on this 11-day cruise, which I'm super excited about. There's only two kinds of people with MSC, it seems to me. Those who really love it and those who don't like it very much. I think I'm going to like MSC for the private island. We'll see. I'm on 2 MSC cruises. I have 2 booked, both in the Caribbean. So, and a lot of it's going to have that private island time. So we'll see. Again, if I missed your question, ask it again because this thing scrolls super quick. How much is this costing you? This cruise right here, I think this one's like, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I think it's like $85 a night for this cruise. Now I just paid for internet. It's $170, so $17 a day. Well, actually 11 days, so whatever that math is. $14 a day. So I add that onto it. It's going to end up being about $100 a day, I think. I don't buy any special packages or anything like that. I bought this Coke, but it's just because I haven't eaten all day, and I knew I was going to jump on this live stream, and I wanted a little bit of calories. I also got a water, but yeah. John says, what military experience has helped in preparing you for long-term cruising? Well, I was in the Navy for 20 years, so I love life at sea. So lots of sea days on a cruise don't bother me at all. Lots of sea days bother some people. Doesn't bother me at all. I actually rather have more sea days than more port visits. I hate back-to-back port visits. I like sea days in between. I really enjoy them. So I think just my, being on, I have over 10 years sea time in my 20 years in the Navy. And just being on ships so much and just really loving being at the ocean, I think equips me well for this. Someone said MSC has a match. Yeah, like I'm their highest status level. I've never even been on an MSC ship. And I guess this gets me a lot of cool things. Like I should have like some chocolate covered cherries and some other stuff in my stateroom when I get there. I don't know. Well, I'll do obviously a video about it. But it gets me a lot of things. I can't remember exactly what they are. Is that merino wool shirt? So there's a merino wool shirt under it. This is a Lululemon shirt, and then I have merino wool pants on. The new, actually since I got a mic on, I can stand up. I love these new merino wool pants. I love them. They're amazing, actually. I think I said chocolate-covered cherries, but I meant chocolate-covered strawberries. I wish it was cherries. Kev, how did you get from port to port? So I was down in Fort Lauderdale. I took a flight. It's actually cheaper to fly than to rent a car. It was only like $70 to fly. So I flew from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. And then I just took an Uber. MSC has a 124-day cruise. That is $24K for a solo traveler, about $200 a day. To be honest with you, man, go over to cruiseplum.com and you will find MSC World Cruises for $54 a day for solo cruisers. You might have to book it in segments, but you can find some super inexpensive MSC cruises on Cruise Plum. Can start to hear the music in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna get copyright strike again. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, we've got 92 people in here and 30 thumbs up. If you don't mind smashing it, it helps more people find the live stream. Since I started early, hopefully it'll get it out to more people. Melissa says, I just disembarked Meraviglia on Thursday, 16th. The private island is beautiful. Drinks service leaves a lot to be desired. I keep hearing that. I was one of the first people on the ship, so I had no problem getting soda and water pretty quickly. So far it's been good for me, but nobody's on the ship yet. I was one of the first people. I was like number 5 getting on the ship. Hey Kevin, in Dallas for a convention for work. Hey Michelle, how you doing? Finally warm here. Yeah, it's actually super warm here. I'm like kind of burning up, but I can't go to my cabin yet and change. I always wear some bigger stuff, you know, when I'm traveling, so I don't have to put it in my bag, you know, take up space in my bag. So I've got a long sleeve shirt on here, even though it's very breathable. It's a Lululemon, but I have a merino wool shirt underneath it, V-neck, and you know, pants on, socks, all that kind of stuff. Where are you sitting now? I'm sitting in like the covered pool area. There's like a pool area, and then it goes into a covered pool area. I wanted to try to take up as little space as possible, but they didn't have any 2-seater tables. They only had 3-seater. That's the smallest. So I feel kind of bad about that I'm one person taking up a 3-seat table, but it is what it is. Our merino wool clothes fast drying. Yeah, super fast drying actually. How has the laundry situation been so far? Asked Bo, and I think someone else asked that question. So on Princess, laundry's included. So on Princess, or not included, I'm sorry. On Princess, they have laundry facilities. I don't know if they have it on MSC or not. I don't think they do. So I'll probably have to send laundry out and pay for it. Although I think with my status, I might get some free laundry. I don't know. I have the highest status. I don't know what I get, but maybe I get some free laundry. And I'll send out my cotton stuff, like my shorts, my swim trunks, but I won't send out any of my merino wool. I'll just sink wash that stuff, which is fine. I actually prefer to sink wash it anyway. And I travel with a clothesline, like a big one. You know, there's always one in the shower, but it's small. I travel with one, and I have 2 magnetic hooks, and I hook them onto the wall, and I just hang my stuff up there, and it's merino wool mostly, so in a few hours it's dry. And if I miss your question, I'm on my phone, so the chat moves really quick. Just ask it again. Byron says, hey Kevin, hope you're doing well. Any plans to visit the BC Islands? Possibly. I will definitely be on the other side. I'm going to Halifax on my way to Iceland. So I will be on the other side, but I think at some point I will do that. Black card, do you have like fast pass? So this is MSC's highest loyalty level, black. Actually, I think it's diamond, yeah, diamond is what it's called. It's the black card. I have never been on an MSC cruise. I got this because I am the highest level with Hilton, and MSC will match your highest airline, your highest hotel, your highest cruise. So that's one of the ways they try to entice you. I figured there'd be a ton of people with this because of that. It really wasn't. When they called Diamond members to board, it was like 20 of us. And so I got on the ship first, which was pretty cool for a guy who's never been on an MSC cruise. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button if you don't mind. How do you wring all the water when sink close? So there's a couple different ways to do it. When I'm not feeling lazy, I'll put them in a towel and roll the towel, and that takes most of the stuff out of merino wool. Merino wool repels water, so it's really easy to do. But normally, I just wring them. It's probably not the best for the clothing, but I've been doing it for a while, and it hasn't really caused a problem for me. Hey Kevin, when cruising solo, do you feel awkward dining alone? No, because when I go to the main dining room, I ask to be seated with other people that want to be sitting with a solo, or that want to be seated with other people. So I normally get seated with somebody. At Princess, it was dine as you want. On here, they actually tell me where I have to go and what time, and I'm not going to do that. To be honest with you, it's at 20:30. I don't eat that late. I don't eat at 8:30 at night. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. This card has my dining room, my time, and my table. I don't like that. I don't like being told when I gotta eat. So I will probably eat mostly in the buffet and other ways that I can eat on here. So yeah, I think all cruise lines should be anytime dining. Michelle says, by the way, I shared your tip with a friend who headed to Thailand after his divorce. He's thinking about staying and being an expat. I mean, Thailand's a great place. I mean, it really is. It's affordable. The food's great. The people are lovely. Oh, the ABC Islands is what you meant. I thought you put BC and you meant British Columbia. I am going to a couple of them actually. Actually, I think I'm going to all of them. To be honest with you, I have 3 months of Caribbean cruising, and I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going on this cruise other than Ocean Cay. I know it goes other places, but I don't even look until the night before. When the itinerary comes out, that's when I know where I'm going. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how I roll. That's how I do cruising. I don't plan anything. I just go with the flow. Is this a big ship? How many people? I probably should have researched it better. I don't know. It feels like a huge ship to me. It feels so much bigger than Sky Princess, and Sky Princess is one of Princess's biggest ships. I mean, it feels a lot bigger. And maybe it's just the way it's set up, but it just feels ginormous to me when I was walking in on the ship. And maybe it's the big atrium they have with the big screen on top. Just Google Meraviglia, you'll see that. And it looks, it looked freaking amazing. And by the way, if you're just joining me, the reason I started this live chat early is because my other live chat would have interfered with the muster drill on here. They don't do it an easy way, they do it the old hard way for the most part. So I started early for that reason. Again, if I missed your question, ask it again. I think someone asked the medical insurance and cruise insurance. So I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, and it gives me 2 types of insurance for cruises. It gives me cancellation up to $10,000. So if it gets canceled for anything out of my control, I just can't cancel it. If I just cancel it because I don't feel like going, they're not going to refund me. But up to $10,000 for me if something happens and it gets canceled. So I never buy the insurance. It also covers me for up to 100 grand evacuation insurance on any vacation under 50 days, and I haven't booked a cruise over 50 days. So I'm covered insurance-wise, and I have my own health insurance through Humana. I'm retired military, and part of being retired military is you get health insurance, and I have TRICARE through Humana. I also, because I am a veteran, can go to the VA if I want. I don't really use the VA though. For Princesses, the internet signal, pretty solid. Well, we're in port, so right now I'm using my cell phone data because it's going to be better than the ship. I don't really know. There's one thing I don't like so far about the internet is it tied my internet package with my phone because I only get the one device, and on Princess I can switch from my computer, phone, iPad. I'm thinking that I can't do that on here. I'm thinking it's tied to my phone because when I purchased it, it said, press start if this is the device you're activating the internet package for. So I think I'm stuck with this device, which will kind of tick me off. If you've sailed MSC and you know the answer to that, let me know. When I was on, I only felt crowded at the big events. Yeah, I probably avoid those anyway. Heard you saying you're going to Halifax, route to Iceland. I live very short distance from Halifax. Very cool, Mark. I'll let you know when I'm there. For Princess, is the internet pretty solid at sea? I mean, I uploaded videos, but it would take me about a day to upload them. And I watched Netflix and I watched YouTube videos. I even went live on some other people's channels while I was at sea. I think Call Me V saw me live on a channel. Actually, I think I was live on Call Me V's channel, as a matter of fact. Would you ever consider doing a sponsored group tour? I would join one, but I'm not going to sponsor a tour. If I don't know how long you've been following me, HLT, but I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I definitely don't want to be responsible for other people's fun, and I definitely don't want to have events that I need to go to that are mandatory. You are more than welcome to join any cruise that I am on. I am very upfront about where I'm cruising and what I'm cruising on, and if we end up at the same events, I'm very personable. You can come up and talk to me, but I'm not going to make plans with you. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know what I want to do in 5 hours from now. I definitely don't know what I want to do in 3 days from now, which is why a minute ago I mentioned when I'm on a cruise, I hardly ever know where I'm going. The only thing I know about this 11-day cruise is I'm going to Ocean Cay because I'm really excited about it for 3 days. And so I know we're going to more places, but I have no clue. You probably know better than me if you Googled it. Okay. But I would join other people's group cruises. I might join Let's Go Travel Tips, Allison and Gordon. I might join one of theirs. They're doing an Antarctic one that interests me. They're also doing Alaska. They're doing a bunch. I might join one of theirs. Obviously, I'm part of the Cruises for Solos Facebook page, and they're starting to do some stuff in the U.S. I might join one of their cruises. But yeah, I would never do one myself. Do you have a link to the suitcase carry-on you showed earlier in the video? Yeah, it's down below. I've got a bunch of cool links down below. There's a link that if you've never used Princess Cruise and you decide to book one, then you get 25 bucks onboard credit, and they give me 25 bucks. I'm not sponsored by them. Anybody can do that. You can do it once you sign up for Princess. You can give someone your referral link. It's just a normal referral link. And then there's a website called Ratukin or something like that. There's a link down below. If you book Princess Cruises, you get 1.5% cash back. They'll deposit it in either PayPal or they'll send you a check. And 4% on Celebrity Cruises. Yeah, Andrea right there who just put it, Rakuten, she's the one that introduced me to it. And I'm so glad she did because I wish I would have found out earlier because I booked so many Princess Cruises. I probably would have got about $1,000 back from that. Actually, probably more than that. Well, no, probably about $1,000 bucks, but that's okay. But 4% back on Celebrity Cruises, which is awesome because I haven't made final payment on my trip from the United States to Asia on Celebrity, so I'm going to get 4% of that back, which is awesome. And 4% back on Celestial, which I don't know anything about. I need to do some research on them. I did see that they do give 4% back on them too. But yeah, if you use those links, they throw some ducats my way, but you get some ducats too. And I'm not sponsored by any of them. It's just normal affiliate programs that you can use yourself. In Aruba, check out the World War II German ship that we sunk off the coast of Aruba, trying to bomb the U.S. Definitely a must. Yeah, I definitely will. Is it a scuba dive trip or a snorkel trip? Can't you share your iPhone's connection with your Mac? So I haven't been able to hotspot a Wi-Fi connection. I tried it on Princess and it wouldn't allow me to do that. So Victor is 12% right now if you book a tour via Visitor instead of the cruise line. Oh, Viator. It's good to know. Lynn says, I'm curious if you're going to like MSC. Here's what I'll say. I'm a very easy to please person, and I'm very laid back, and not a lot of things bother me. So I think I'm going to like MSC primarily because of their private island. I can already tell you just the ship is beautiful, but I can already tell you I like the ship's appearance on Princess better. I'm just going to tell you that straight up front right away. That's my initial impression because it's brighter and more airy and more open feeling. It is beautiful here though. I love going to Vegas. I love going to Caesar's Palace. I love going to MGM, Grand. That's what this ship's decor reminds me of. It reminds me of a hotel in Vegas. And I like that. I just like Princess's decor more. Now, outside, I will tell you, I think the decor is actually better. There's a lot of teak, or it's probably fake teak, but because teak is just impossible to maintain. But there's a lot of teak, and it looks like it's going to be nice. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't explored the ship very much because I jumped on board and then I hopped on this live stream shortly thereafter. It's worth asking the cruise line for some extra perks while paying double occupancy. I mean, you can do that. Probably most of the time they're going to say, tough crap. I've got 16 cruises that I booked so far, and I've never paid double occupancy. I hear this word double occupancy all the time, and it is an arbitrary word that really doesn't mean anything when it comes to your actual cost of your cruise. And let me explain what I mean by that. So let's say you find two itineraries, exactly the same, two 10-night cruises, right? Everyone's always like, oh, I want the lowest occupancy. I don't want to pay double occupancy. So let's say on a Princess cruise, and this is actually from an actual case that I was booking. Let's say you find a Princess cruise that's $700 a night for someone that's booking with their significant other, so it'll be $1,400 for a 10-night cruise. So actually, let's say it's a 14-night cruise. So it'll be $100 a night for them together. So $50 a night for them separately. And then you book it in, it's the exact same price as double occupancy, which I've never done, by the way. But let's just say you do that. So it's $100 a night for you, which to me is a pretty affordable cruise. But a lot of people get wrapped around having to pay double occupancy. And then let's say I'm looking at the same itinerary on NCL, and it's only 20% over double occupancy. But the price of the cruise for the two people that travel is $1,500 a night. And so you're paying like $1,700 and $170 a night. And so you're paying less. You're not paying double occupancy, but you're paying more for the cruise. So what I tell people all the time is what you want to look at is what is your cost going to be per night. That's how you compare apples to apples, cruises to cruises. Because you will oftentimes find that a low solo supplement is a marketing gimmick, and they just jacked up the price of the cruise. And it just appears like you're getting low occupancy because it's only 10% above, but you're really paying more for the same cruise. I'll give you another example. A lot of people are like, I'm booking NCL studio cabins because I don't have to pay double occupancy. I only pay the solo rate. Okay, I have an example where you could get a suite on NCL for cheaper than the solo cabin is on NCL. 99% of the time on NCL, the inside cabin is cheaper than the solo cabin. But you're like, but the solo cabin is a solo cabin. No, the solo cabin is an inside cabin. It's a tiny inside cabin. Your inside cabin normal is going to be bigger, and you're probably going to pay less. I go on and on about this stuff because I get that question about double occupancy all the time. And double occupancy, you got to get that out of your head. The only number you should be focusing on is what does it cost you per night for you to stay on that cruise. Don't worry about what it costs other people. And then compare apples to apples. Don't try to compare apples to oranges. You'll always feel like you're getting ripped off. Okay, sorry, that was a little rant, because I get that question all the time. And I also get the question that people say, I can't find anything not double occupancy. That's why I don't cruise solo. And I'm like, I've never paid double occupancy, not even close. I think this cruise, I actually paid negative 10%. So I actually got it cheaper than someone booking with two people in the cabin per person. If you go to Cruise Plum, I hype this website up all the time. If you go to Cruise Plum, they're not selling anything. It's just people who like cruises that made a Google search engine for cruises. You can search by solo. There's even a tab where you can, it's not very good. I rather just search I'd rather just do the normal search feature, but if you click on solo, you can sort by occupancy. You'll see some cruises that are negative 80% for you. So you'll pay 80% less. Most of them are MSC cruises. Man, I'm sweating my butt off in this long sleeve shirt. Okay, I know I missed a super chat. Fred, thanks for the super chat. Let's see. Saw you lost 9 pounds. What you did is exactly what I do. Said Fred's Model 3. I'm on a strict ketogenic lifestyle for the last 2 years, so there's many low carb options on cruise ships. Yeah, I know I showed some, like, I do a butter pecan latte every morning on a Princess cruise, but that's my only real indulgence. I showed a couple sweets on there, but normally I eat pretty low carb because it's so easy to get fresh baked chicken, fresh turkey, fresh fish, fresh salmon, all of the non-carb foods that you can think of. There's a lot of nuts that you can get. There's a lot of cheeses. And so it's really easy to do a low-carb diet on a cruise ship. And thanks for the super chat. But yeah, you're 100% right. All right. Are there any dog-friendly cruises? So while you're tripping, most cruise lines allow you to bring pets on board. They have a certain amount they allow you to bring that the ship can have on. So you just have to call the cruise line or get a travel agent. They'll probably be familiar with that. And man, I got 200 people in this live stream and only 100 thumbs up. Can we at least get to 150? Smash that thumbs up. That's the most people I've had on live stream in a long time. Yeah, but if you go to the cruise line, you can get them. When I was walking around Princess, I saw actually the area where dogs go to relieve themselves. So yeah, most cruise lines allow it. A certain amount of dogs on board. I think I saw a couple on they're little tiny dogs. But yeah. There you go, Queen Mary. I want to go on the Queen Mary too, by the way. So Queen Mary has a pet concierge. That's awesome. I thought they only allowed service dogs that were verified. No, that's not the case. You can bring on non-service dogs on many cruise lines. CF says, we loved the Meraviglia last March out of Port Canaveral. Some people dislike the ship, but we loved it. Yeah, I mean, so far, I think it's a beautiful, gorgeous ship. I'm excited about it. Again, with MSC, the thing I'm most excited about, and the reason why I think I'll sail on MSC a lot in the Caribbean, number one, the price is always really good. But number two, that private island, I haven't been there yet, but I just have a feeling I'm going to love it. I had French toast and quesadillas for breakfast. Yum. Hope you are well, Kevin. Hey, gotta love Thailand. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, brother? You have to find the MSC equivalent to the butter pecan latte. Yeah, I haven't checked yet what they have on board. How long will you be on Meraviglia? I'm on 11 days on Meraviglia. And then I head up to Baltimore and I jump on Enchantment of the Seas for a month. I'll be on Enchantment for 3 cruises, an 8-day, a 12-day, and an 8-day. Stuck in Florida's in the house. What's going on? You keep it interesting in things. I rejected van life. Nope, wait, maybe. Cruises. Nope, wait, maybe. Yeah, I mean, look, I like variety. So far, I'll be honest with you, I am loving cruise life. Are you on Shipmate? I have an account, I think, that I set up a long time ago, but I need to get back on Shipmate. I do need to get back on there. For those who don't know, Shipmate's an app where you can contact other cruisers. Are you going across the Atlantic? This is why you're tripping. Yeah, so at the end of May, I hop on what's called a fire and ice cruise. It's going up to Halifax, then 3 or 4 ports in Iceland. Then we're going way above the Arctic Circle to Svalbard, and then down and through all the Norwegian fjords, which will be freaking amazing. Again, if I missed your question, I'm on my phone, chat moves super quick, ask it again. Especially if you put like stars in front of it, asterisks in front of it, or question, I'll know it's a question. Are you happy your boy Albert won NL Comeback Player of the Year? Yep, Albert Pujols, he's talking about him from St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm a huge Cardinal fan. I was just notified. I'm interested to see what MSC has to offer. Yeah, like if you have status on anything else, airlines, hotels, other cruises, make sure you get MSC to match it. It was so easy. I just emailed them, and the next day I was their highest level because I'm the highest level with MSC. Which is the cruise that goes to Svalbard? It's called Fire and Ice, Vicky. It's at the end of May on Island Princess. Yeah, it's called Longbjorn, something, I think. Do you know how much the surcharge is for the balcony? I'm not sure, Carolina. Usually balconies are pretty affordable on MSC relative to other cruise ships. I'm from Pujols' hometown where he played in high school. That's pretty awesome. I'm from Missouri, by the way, as well. So I'm going to come home and say hi. I'm going to come up and say hi to you next week. Are you on this cruise right now, or are you going to be on enchantment? What website do you use for cruise pricing? I use Cruise Plum. Will MSC match air miles? I don't know about air miles, but your status I think they'll match for airlines. I think so. Worst case, just try. They're trying to get cruisers. That's why they're doing this match. I mean, I've never cruised on an MSC cruise before. This is my first, and I am their highest level. And you keep it as long as you go on an MSC cruise every 2 years. So I'm higher on MSC than Princess. How do you find low rates for solo travelers? Sebastian, I use a website called Cruise Plum where you can search by solo cruise price, and that price includes the true cost of a solo cruise, which is cruise fare, taxes, port fees, and gratuities. And it's so easy. You can sort by cost per day. Like figure out what cost per day you want. Like I try to stay around $100, although some of my later cruises are more expensive because I'm taking some more exotic cruises because I want to. But you can easily keep it at $100 a day, even below. Cruising in the Caribbean, cruising in Europe on Costa and MSC, cruising Alaska on Princess. At the beginning of the season and at the end of the season, you can get Princess cruises in Alaska for $80 a night. Is it not hard to make new friends on cruises? I don't think it is at all. You all have one thing in common. You're sharing this experience together, and most likely the people that you meet love cruising too, so you automatically have an in with people. And there's so many events that allow you to interact with people. Like there'll be dancing lessons. There'll be, when you go to dine, you can ask to be seated with other solos or other couples who want to be seated with other people. And it's a great way to meet people. People are more friendly on cruise ship than in real life. I agree with that. I mean, they're on holiday, they're on vacation. They're living La Vida Loca and loving life. Are there lots of solo cruisers? I think there's lots of solo cruisers. Cruises for Solos, which is a Facebook group I'm part of, you guys can join. There's 40,000 members in that group. There's a ton of solo cruisers. What's the best value for money? Holland, Celebrity, or Princess? I'd probably say Princess. I haven't been on a Celebrity or Holland, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive for similar itineraries in my experience. But I don't have a ton of experience. How do you do your taxes? Everything electronic? Yeah, everything's electronic. I use my mother's address as my home address. If you haven't smashed that thumbs up button, we're at 144. Can we get to 150? Kevin, thanks for answering all the questions. No problem. Hey, Tila, what's going on? Solo cruising is awesome. I'm getting ready for my 9th solo cruise. Very cool. What are you cruising on? Amethyst? What is the link for the solo website you just mentioned? So Cruise Plum, like the fruit, Cruise Plum, and you can search by solo. You can search by one occupant for pricing. And so you don't have to click into an itinerary to figure out how much it's going to cost you as a solo, like you do on every other freaking website, because they only give you the double occupancy price. It'll search by the solo price. And then I usually go to the cruise line's website, because Cruise Plum's not a travel agent, they're just a search engine. You'll be on Carnival Dream, very cool. I've got a bunch of good shots of Carnival Valor. I've been on one Carnival cruise in my life. It was in 2018. It was nice, I liked it. You should make a Cruise Plum video. Yeah, I probably will at some point. I do have a video where I'm talking about how I found a cheap cruise, and I talk about Cruise Plum a lot in that video. Let's see. Dunder asks, do you do solo on Disney? I haven't done any solos on Disney yet, but at some point I'm going to do a Disney cruise. I love Star Wars, and I know there's a lot of Star Wars themed stuff on there, so I would love to do a Disney cruise. Disney obviously is probably the most pricey cruises out there. But I might try one in the future. Maybe bring my nieces and nephews. What cruises would be good as a first cruiser? So to be honest with you, Ronan, I don't know. I just started cruising as a lifestyle, so I don't really have a ton of experience. I haven't been on Norwegian yet, but I've heard they're great for solos. I'll be on there, and I'll be able to make a more accurate judgment of it, but I can't really answer that question for you. I'm sorry. Looks like you have to be American or Canadian. So just say you're American or Canadian, to be honest with you, Nana, because it lists cruises from anywhere in the world, starting from anywhere in the world. So I'm sure if you just go on your local country's website and book, it'll be, I would imagine it would just be the, whatever the conversion rate is for price. What is the process for back-to-back cruises? Man, I get that question a lot. I need to make a video about it. So So back-to-back cruises, there's two ways to say this type of thing. Back-to-back means you're staying on the same cruise ship. Side-to-side means you're doing cruises back-to-back, but you're switching ships. You're going from one ship to another. That's side-to-side. So for back-to-back, on Princess, which is the only cruise line I've done back-to-back on, the way it works is you go to a certain area for people who are doing back-to-back. They escort you off the ship, you go through immigration, you can turn right around and go right back on the ship. It was so easy. It's all like face recognition now with immigration, at least in Fort Lauderdale. And it was super, super simple. And the only thing that took time was waiting for the cruise ship to clear all the other passengers off the cruise ship so they could escort us off and bring us right back on. You can also just walk off early in the morning when you first can walk off. They'll give you a little card that says in transit, and you can just go out in town in Fort Lauderdale or wherever you're at if you want, and then you can come and board the ship when normal boarding is happening. But you won't have to wait through all the normal boarding line. You just show your in transit card and get right back on. It's a super easy process, nothing to stress over. For a side-to-side, I've never done one yet. Well, that's not true. I guess it really is a side-to-side, the one I did from, I left Princess in Fort Lauderdale and came up here to Orlando. So I guess that is side-to-side, but there was one day in between. And I know I'm going to get this question, did you stay in a hotel? Yes. So I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card. There's a link down below. They give you a bunch of points. They give me a bunch of points. It's an expensive credit card, but if you travel a lot, it's worth it. And they give me a ton of points for travel and restaurants, which is like 90% of the money I spend. And so I just book on my flights and hotels with credit card points. I've been traveling nonstop for 4 years. I haven't paid for a flight in forever, and I've only paid for a few hotels. Where do you stay when not on a cruise? I just answered that question. I'll stay in a hotel. If it's a long term, like there's 2 or 3 weeks, I'll fly home to St. Louis, visit my mother for 2 or 3 weeks, and then head to the cruise. Is the ship really full this week? I don't know. I think so. I'm on an 11-day cruise, but I think it could be booked as a 3-day cruise. MSC does a lot of funky bookings like that because we are coming back to Fort Lauderdale after 3 days. We're just going to Ocean Cay and Nassau, I think, and we are coming back. And I'm assuming that's because some people are on a 3-day cruise. So, and we've got 222 people here in this live stream right now. We should be able to get up to 200 thumbs up, which I think would be the highest number I've ever gotten during a live stream. Or maybe not. Maybe I've gotten more than that. What's your longest cruise? My longest cruise or my longest time on a cruise ship? So I have 33 days on the Island Princess. I'm doing a fire and ice cruise. It goes to Iceland, all the Norwegian fjords, starts in Fort Lauderdale, ends in London. How are visa requirements? I've never had any visa requirements that weren't just covered by a passport rich so far. We'll see what happens when I start going to other places around the world. For those who don't know, I'm doing 3 months in the Caribbean, 3 months in Europe, 3 months in Asia, 3 months in the Middle East, and 3 months in South America. I've decided to extend my 1 year in cruise ship by at least 3 months. So yeah, Besides videos, how are you archiving your trips? I mean, I take photos. I have, for those who don't know, I have a private Instagram that you can join. It doesn't cost any money. I just keep it private. I'll probably open it up at some point because I got like 5,000 people on there now. It's called 30 to Wake Up, just like my YouTube channel. Go to Instagram and I'll accept you, and I document a lot of stuff there. If you want to see more daily stuff, that's where I do it. Would you like to live on a cruise as your home, retirement style? Asked Carolina. It's definitely something I would consider. I love it. I love cruise lifestyle. We're only 6 thumbs up away from 200 thumbs up. Will you make a video at Costa Maya port? I might, LV. I'm not sure when I'm going to pull in there again, but I definitely will be pulling in there. How did you get from Fort Lauderdale to Port Canaveral? I took a Southwest flight. I have a ton of Southwest points and credit card points, so it didn't cost me no money. Did you stay in a hotel between changing ships? Yep, I stayed at a Hilton, and I paid for it with credit card points that I earned from booking cruises. Will you cruise? Will you take a cruise back to Asia? I'm going to take a cruise to Asia. A celebrity cruise. There's all kinds of trans-Pacific. There's all kinds of trans-Pacific cruises that will take you to Australia, New Zealand, or Japan. How many months in your year-long cruise are you currently at? I'm in the first month. I just got off my first ship. I was on there for 21 days. It was 3 different 7-day cruises. It was a princess ship. It was called Sky Princess. And this is my second ship, MSC Meraviglia. I'll be on here for 11 days. And then I head up to Baltimore and I jump on Enchantment of the Seas, which is a Royal Caribbean ship, for a month. And then I will go to another princess ship for a month, Caribbean Princess. Do you have any onboard credit? I don't have any onboard credit with MSC. Like with Princess, I get so much onboard credit. Like I can live La Vida Loca. On here, not so much. So all your points for flights, hotels are from Sapphire. So the thing about flights is you'll get double credit for flights. You'll get the points for the flight from your airline if you book it with Sapphire points, and then you can book with those points too. So I always just look at the balances on my different airlines and see if it's more cost effective to just book with the points I have on the airline or to book with the points I have with Chase Sapphire Reserve. I use a system called the Chase Trifecta. Go to a website called Ask Sebby, S-E-B-B-Y. He does a good breakdown of it, but basically it's 3 Chase credit cards. All of the points from those different credit cards earn points a different way, and all of them can be transferred into the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which gives you a 50% markup on your points. So you basically just get a ton of points. And then you can book a lot of stuff. You can even book cruises. I wouldn't waste my points on cruises, to be honest with you, because it's not a good trade-in value, but I could if I wanted to. Basically, I pay for cruises, and I get all those points, and those points I use for flights and hotels. Is it a celebrity cruise because you are on there? Yeah, it's a celebrity cruise because I'm on Celebrity, not there's going to be celebrities on there. Oh, you're asking me? I'm not a celebrity. Although I'm getting so close to 100,000 subscribers, I can't believe it. I'm an overnight success, 4 years in the making. Everyone's like, how'd you get to 100,000 so quick? I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for 4 years, man. It took me a year to get 1,000 subscribers. It took me 2 years to get 10,000 subscribers. I'm an overnight success, 4 years in the making. Did you plan this live? Yeah, this live with Laurel was scheduled for 1 p.m. And then I realized that would be sometime during the man overboard drill. And so I wasn't going to be able to do it at that time, so I switched it. I know it sucks. I probably missed some people. But at least we got 231 people here, which is the biggest live stream I've had in a long time, since van life days. Yeah. Hey, thanks Going Green Mom for putting that there. that link. Can you change staterooms shortly after embarking? You can go down to guest services and try to change your stateroom. I'm sure you can. A lot of people do that as a strategy for getting upgrades, because unbooked cabins, they might be able to get cheaper by just going down to guest services. I don't know. I'm hoping because I'm black, maybe at some point, since I'm highest level on MSC, maybe at some point they'll give me like free upgrade, but we shall see. Nick says, new follower here. I'm intrigued by your channel name. Any stories behind it? P.S. Love your channel. Hoping to persuade my reluctant husband to cruise on Virgin. I really want to try Virgin, by the way. So 30 and a wake up. I got one of those rude comments this morning. I get about one a week. Basically, it said, 30, dude, you look terrible for 30 years old. I'm not 30, I'm 47 years old. Maybe I look terrible for 47 too, but I'm 47, closing in on 48. So I was in the military, the Navy, for 20 years. And when you go on a military deployment, you have a countdown to when you're going to come home. So if you have 180 days, you say, I have 179 days and a wake up. That just makes it seem like a shorter amount of time, I guess. When I first started traveling, I lived in a different country every 30 days. So that's the genesis of my name. Every 30 days, I would wake up in another country, hence the name 30 Days and a Wake Up. And now I pretty much live on a cruise ship every 30 days. Like this cruise is only 11 days, but my last cruise ship I was on 21 days. My next one I'll be on 28 days. And then the one after that I'll be on 28 days. And then the one after that I will be on, that's where I'm not on for a long time. I jumped from 2 different cruise lines, MSC to Norwegian, over a 1-month period. And then I'll be on another Princess ship for over a month, maybe even 2 months if I book the follow-on cruise. Woot woot, 246 in the chat. Can we get to 250 likes? That's amazing. Thank you everyone for showing up. I can't believe how successful the YouTube algorithm is treating me with cruise content. Because the weird thing about me is I change the way I travel every 4 years. My first year I traveled in a group travel program called Remote Year, where I lived in a different country every 30 days. Then COVID hit, I bought a van. I traveled around the United States living in an RV. And then I moved to Thailand, got a motorcycle, drove around Thailand for a year. And then I moved, then I decided to live on cruise ships. And so every time you change genres, you lose your audience because people might be interested in the new stuff you're doing. What I've noticed is a lot of people who love van life also like to cruise. I've noticed there's a little crossover there that I hadn't seen in the past. And some of my Thailand viewers actually like to go to Singapore and get on the cruise ship there. They have one of Royal Caribbean's flagship cruise ships there, Symphony of the Seas, which I will be on a lot later on this year when I'm in Asia. But yeah, so it's been great how some of the, I mean, I have a cruise video now with 70,000 views. That's nuts. Since I'm new to the genre, and I probably only have about 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers that are cruise ship related. So it's nuts. I mean, obviously a lot of it has to do with my old school folks like Going Green Mom, Kaylee, all the people you see on here that are channel members, moderators, that have been with me for years. That's what that bright orange van on some people's name means. That means they've been a channel member of mine for over 2 years. They paid even when I wasn't making videos for 6 months. And I'll be forever grateful to those people for sticking with me. They didn't have to. They could have, and it would have been no hard feelings at all, but they did. So I super appreciate that. Someone says if the internet was better, I'd work from them. I'm in tech. Yeah, so you probably got to have a strong internet connection. I think it's going in that direction though. Looks like a lot of them are going to start having Starlink, which hopefully will make it better. And hopefully at some point we have worldwide phone connectivity via satellite. I was here for van life. I dropped off for Thailand. Probably only watched a few videos, but I love cruise life. That's awesome. Yeah, there is definitely some crossover between van life and cruise life for sure. I think maybe it's the age demographic as well. We're all a little bit older, and so older people tend to like RVing and cruising. So there's definitely some overlap. how's the internet connection where you are? It's my phone, and it's great. That's why I'm able to do this live stream. My last Princess ship I was on, at sea, I was jumping on, I jumped on Call Me V's live stream. I jumped on Chili's cruising live stream, and it turned out fine. I did a live interview with Chili, and he said everything was great. It's been good at sea. I've been able to watch Netflix if I want to. I don't know about MSC. I've actually heard it's better than Princess. We'll see. Are you going to do an Alaska or Antarctic cruise? So Antarctic cruise for sure. That will be on the agenda. I haven't booked it yet, but it will be on the agenda. And Alaska will be too, no question. I actually was going to go to Alaska next month, but I ended up getting some good deals on some cruises, on cruise lines that I wanted to try, NCL and one of MSC's new ships, Seashore. And so I ended up switching and not doing Alaska then, but I will be doing Alaska later on this year. Sandra said, I love watching you. How long does it take to walk 10,000 steps in the morning? I mean, depends on how fast I'm walking. Probably a couple hours. Yeah, usually a couple hours. Are you impressed with MSC? I'm impressed with how beautiful the ship is. I mean, look at all this teak. Like, as a sailor, I really appreciate a lot of teak, and it's beautiful. I don't know if you can see. There's a bar back there. It's really bright. Woo. There's a bar back there. And there's pools and all kinds of other stuff. I'm really impressed. I said this earlier, so I know for a lot of people it's going to be like I'm repeating myself. But my initial impression of MSC is it reminds me of a fancy Las Vegas casino like MGM or something like that. It really reminds me of like a casino hotel, an expensive casino hotel in Vegas, where Princess is a more elegant feel. It's definitely more of a Vegas type of luxurious feel, which makes sense. It's an Italian cruise line. It feels very Caesar's Palace to me. The music is definitely more modern and more pop, which is the kind of music I like. It's less older stuff. I mean, you can hear it in the background probably, which sucks, but because I'm going to get copyright striked on my live stream again. But yeah, my initial impression so far, it's lovely. I haven't been in my room yet, so I have no idea what that looks like. Yeah, it's lovely. It seems so much bigger than Sky Princess, and it can't be that much bigger, but it feels bigger. But Sky Princess feels more airy and open because it's more bright colors, where this ship is more dark grays, maroons. It's more dark. It's a darker colored vibe than the Princess ships, which are very light, bright, light and brightly colored. It is bigger than Princess. I mean, it makes sense that it's bigger than Princess, Sky Princess, even though Sky Princess is one of their biggest ships. But it's not, I mean, I'm looking at the other side, it's not that much bigger. It doesn't seem that much bigger to me, but it feels much bigger. Do I have any annual medical evacuation policy? So again, I'm going to be repeating myself. So I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, which gives me two kinds of insurance that are useful on cruises. Number one, cancellation insurance. It's up to $10,000. Since I'm solo, if I was with another person, it would be $20,000. And evacuation up to $100,000 on any trip I book 50 days and under. So that's how I'm covered. So I never elect to get the insurance. I'm not advising anybody to do that. Read the fine print if you have Chase Sapphire Reserve. Read it. Do your own research. All that kind of stuff. But I feel safe. I have my own health insurance. I was in the military for 20 years. I retired. Part of TRICARE. You get TRICARE for life when you do 20 years. And so I have insurance to a normal insurance company, Humana. You can get that through TRICARE. I can also go to the VA, like I mentioned before. I don't really do that, but it is an option. If you're wearing noise canceling headphones, you can avoid the issue. Yeah, I have my wireless mic, and it's picking up the music, unfortunately. But I like the audio that it gives me. It gives me real clear audio. I mean, I can walk around, you know. Let me know if you guys can still hear me as I can walk around the cruise ship. I can go over here. No issues. No issues walking around and you guys hearing me. Check out the merino wool pants, by the way. How cool are those? I watch a cruise channel called Para DJ. They're really cool. I like them a lot. And they do a lot of. He always has his socks of the day. So here's my socks of the day. I think they're very, very cruise, oceany. I bought them at one of the cruise ports. All right. Pep, have you been clothes shopping? No, I haven't been clothes shopping. I did get these merino wool. I did get these merino wool pants. I got 2 pair of them, a khaki pair and these pair, because I'm going to be in some cold environments. I'll need pants. Plus, sometimes you got to dress up at night for some of the venues. MSC doesn't really have that kind of policy. I'm assuming you can't wear flip-flops in their dining room. But on Princess, I brought a sport coat as well. It's just an Italian bonobos sport coat, and I just carry it on the plane with me. It has a bunch of pockets, so I carry a lot of stuff in the sport coat as well. That's how I roll. And then the rest is all merino wool shirts. I do have this long sleeve shirt by Lululemon. That's really good and breathable and like easy to wash. But most of my stuff, my other long sleeve shirt is a merino wool shirt. Where are you right now? What port? Orlando. Port Canaveral. They call it Orlando, but it's like an hour drive from Orlando. We are so close to 250 likes. 5 more likes to 250. Okay. Somebody just gift memberships. I don't see when people gift memberships, so I have no clue who did it. So whoever gifted memberships, thank you. That's a really cool feature they have on here now. Someone said D&J are amazing. That's Para DJ, by the way, D&J. That's some of my favorite cruise content out there. I love their channel. They don't know me from Adam. I comment all the time. I love their channel. It's great. They're just such a genuine couple. I really like them. There's other cruise channels I like. Obviously, I have a online friendship with Emma from Emma Cruises. Let's Go Travel Tips have been super generous on their Facebook page, allowing me to post my videos to develop more of a cruise audience. Go to Let's Go Travel Tips and join their channel and say, hey, 30 and a Wake Up sent me. That's kind of a thank you. I'm trying to help them grow their audience too. They have like 11, 12,000 subscribers. They're great. Hey, my buddy Lindsay is in the house. Lindsay just said, hey, Kmart. For those that don't know, when I was growing up, my name is Kevin Martin. My nickname was Kmart. And Lindsay is on here. Me and her traveled with Remote Year, a group program. We traveled for a full year together. We lived in 30 different countries. Not 30 different countries. We lived in 12 different countries for 30 days at a time. And it was an amazing experience. I might do it again. Who gifted the memberships? I hear the casinos on MSC are amazing. Is that Brandon O'Brien that I just met? Is that the person I just met? Is that you, Brandon, the guy I just met? So I just met a guy who does a channel where he okay, yeah, that's Brandon. Okay, cool. He's on my channel right now. So that's good. So go check out Brandon's channel if you like casino content or cruise content as well. He does casino content, which I told him I really like. I don't gamble a lot, but I actually love watching like World Series of Poker. I love watching, I love playing Texas Hold'em, by the way. I love watching high value slot playing. I love watching those channels. and I'm pretty sure I'm already subscribed to his channel when he was describing it, but he does a lot of gambling stuff on cruise ships. And if you don't know, if you like gambling anyway and you gamble on cruise ships, they will comp a lot of your cruises for you. MSC and Princess are really good for that. Princess keeps giving me casino credit. They just gave me another $300 casino credit for my next cruise, which is crazy to me. But and none of these cruise ships know I exist, by the way. It's not because I make YouTube videos. But yeah, he does cruise content. So go over and subscribe to his channel as well. Especially if you're into cruising, obviously, but also if you're into the cruising gambling scene, which is a huge scene. Do you have to have cash and tournament poker on cruises? So I'm not 100% familiar with MSC. Brandon will probably be able to tell you better than I can tell you. On Princess, they use your medallion and they just charge your room, and then they give you whatever the gambling method is there, whether it's chips or whatever. Well, I do a stateroom tour. Yeah, I always do a stateroom tour, Anna. My stateroom tours usually are with my cost of the cruise videos. So at the end of the cruise, I calculate all my costs that I spent on there, cost of the cruise plus whatever I spent on board. And I usually start that video off with a room tour, so you know what I paid for, what room I paid for. I'm usually in inside cabins. It's fine with me. I don't spend much time in my cabin just to sleep. I like the dark cave. So I just got a super chat, and I also need to know who the heck gifted memberships. Oh, Lorena, thanks for the super chat, Lorena. You didn't have to do that. I like MSC Meraviglia. Long announcements in 5 languages get old though. Yeah, I can imagine that. I used to be able to, for those who don't know, I was stationed in Italy for 2 years, from 98 to 2000. And I was actually pretty decent at Italian, but over the years it's went away. And I want to, I'm interested to see if I understand the Italian announcements. Did you get a room with a balcony? I almost never get a room with a balcony, Sandra. I am an inside cabin guy. I like the cave feeling of an inside cabin for sleeping. It's like cold and dark. I love that. So I didn't. I haven't booked one yet. I always bid on the upgrades, the lowest bid. I'm starting to get status on some cruise lines. I'm the second highest status on Princess now, and after my next cruise, I'll be the highest status, and I'm the highest status on MSC. So maybe I'll get upgrades in the future. Do they have a sauna or steam room on board? Yeah, they have a whole spa area on board, trail. You can get all kinds of different things. Kaylee gifted the memberships again. Kaylee? Oh, you're too kind, Kaylee. Thank you. Everyone say thank you. Sharon said, love seeing your Navy uniform. My son is a lieutenant on the destroyer out of Everett. Very cool. I used to be stationed in Everett. Sharon, I used to own a house right there. He can see my house from his destroyer. It's a building that's painted all these colors, red, blue, yellow. I used to own a condo there overlooking the bay, and I was stationed on the USS Abraham Lincoln back when it was out of Everett, Washington. It's a great duty station. Hey, we were at 271 thumbs up. I know we might not have the numbers, but can we get it to 300? Question on Dress to Impress night. Does the ship rent formal wear? That's a good question. I have no idea. I bring it with me. I have a couple long sleeve shirts. I have merino wool pants that I travel with that are great for travel. And I have this Italian wool, unstructured sport coat by Bonobos. I had it tailored so it fits me good, and that's worked for me. But it would be nice if they did do that. I would actually do that if they did. When you sign up for the veteran program, do you need to have your DD-214? Yeah, I think DD-214 is what they ask for. Maybe they'll take if you have a veteran's ID, maybe they'll take that, but I'm not 100% sure. I think for MSC, which gives you 5% off cruises for veterans, I sent them my DD-214. Same with Norwegian, which gives you 10% off, and then Princess gives you onboard credit. I think all of them I sent my DD-214. MSC matches status. Yep, that's why I have the highest status of MSC. I have the diamond, even though I've never been on an MSC ship before today. I was the highest level on Hilton. I was a Hilton Honors Diamond member. I sent it to them. I just took a screenshot of my Diamond member card on my phone. I sent it to them. 3 days later, I was their highest level. I keep this highest level as long as I take MSC cruises every 2 years. I don't know exactly what it gives me. I know it gives me chocolate covered strawberries or something like that. I don't know what the other benefits are. If you know what the good benefits are, does it give me laundry? I would love if it gave me laundry. Do you know what benefits this black card gives me? Because I don't. Museum Holic, what's going on? She's got a great YouTube channel, by the way, too. Is Texas Hold'em offered daily on these cruises? So I was on Princess Cruise, last cruise, and they definitely gave me, they definitely had Texas Hold'em tournaments every day. You can go sign up for them. You got to get there early, though. I don't own a button-up shirt. Yeah, stuck in Florida. I used to not. I got a merino wool one, and then I got this one from Lululemon, which is super lightweight, and it doesn't wrinkle, so it's great. And yeah, if you use my link for Unbound Merino, you get 10% off. Christy says, you might have already said this. What is the first port? I have no idea. I never know what ports I'm going to till the night before when I get the thing. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what ports I'm going to except for Ocean Cay, which I'm super excited about here on MSC. It's a private island. It's a nature reserve, so they don't have like an amusement park there like the other resorts do. And that's what I like. I just want a low-key island. I think that's why I'm going to really like MSC, is because of this private reserve. Google it and see what they did. They basically took this place where people used to dump all their trash at, and they turned it into a nature reserve. It's part of the Bahamas, and they can stay there overnight because it's theirs. So we're going to overnight there one of the nights we're here. Yes, I'm clear on the food-related benefit. Can't believe you've been doing YouTube for 4 years. I found you through Amber on Story Chasing. Yeah, for those who don't know, go check out Amber. She does tiny home content and van life content. She is the reason I got my first 100 subscribers. I won on her channel, and she started my channel off growing quicker than it would have if she didn't help me. Are you on any Carnival cruises? So I have been on one Carnival cruise. I don't have any booked at the moment, mostly because Carnival books mostly really short cruises, and I tend to like booking the longer cruises because they're more cost effective and they attract less kids. Not that I'm against kids, but you know, it's nice to have less kids for, you know, 47-year-old adult solo traveling, and they just attract less kids. So I don't have a lot of Carnival booked. I'm sure I will at some point. I own the Carnival stock now, the 101 shares, which works for Princess, Holland America, Carnival, obviously, and some other ones. So, I mean, I'll probably do it just to see what that benefit is. Tara met me through Amber. Amber can celebrate when you're 100K. You're 100K when it happens, yeah. Do you always get off at ports, or do you stay on board? I usually get off at least a little bit, but sometimes I do, you know. Sometimes I stay on board. I feel like just having a quiet day. I've seen other people do Castaway Cay. It might have been Emma Cruises. Yeah, I think that's the Disney one. I would like to try that one. There's a lot I haven't done, like Half Moon Cay I heard is amazing. Half Moon Cay. I think that's Holland America's, I think. I was supposed to go to Princess Cay, but we ended up not going. Princess Key, Princess Cay. We ended up not going. I'll be on a Royal Caribbean ship for a month next month, and we'll be going to Coco Cay, Coco Key, Coco Cay. And so I'm excited about that as well. Yeah, I've heard Half Moon is amazing. Most people say, Scott Wilson says, am I blocked? You're not blocked, man. My chat's just moving super quick. If I don't get to your question, ask it again. You know, wait a few minutes if I haven't answered it. ask it again. The chat's moving like super fast on me, and I'm on my phone, so I can't slow down the chat. Are you worried about medical care if required? No, Scott, I mentioned that earlier. I have medical insurance. There's doctors on board cruise ships, at least one doctor, and nurses. I have evacuation insurance with my credit card, so I feel okay. Carnival stock is 11 a share, NCL is 13, RCL is 74. Can't go wrong with Carnival. Yeah, I bought most of my Carnival when it was $7 a share. I got really lucky. So it's actually been one of my best investments of the year. I own 101 shares. I think my average price is like, I don't know, like $8 and something. So it's my best investment of the year so far. You probably don't have an issue as a retired Navy, but how rough are the seas? Any coping skills needed? So these ships are so big that waves don't move them around a lot, and they have fin stabilizers, which help stabilize the ship in rocky water. It's not too bad. If you're really, really worried about it, my advice to you would be start taking Dramamine a day before your cruise. It's too late if you're already on the cruise ship to start taking it. Start taking it a day before, and that'll help you. Worst case scenario, if you get seasick on a ship, they'll give you the shot, which will basically knock you out, and you'll sleep through it, and then you'll feel much better. Odds are you're not going to get seasick on a cruise ship, though. Oh, here's another tip. Try to book your stateroom as low down as you possibly can and towards the middle. It just the lower you are, the ship is like this, right? So you can see my hands. The top is moving a lot more than the bottom, right? And so it's the same on, the way cruise ships are. You'll move a lot less when you're here because you'll swing less. So try to get as low as you can and towards the middle of the ship. I get sick on ferries. Ferries are flat bottom boats most usually, and so they rock a lot. And so it's easy to get sick on a flat bottom boat. C-bands are excellent. I've never used C-bands, but I've heard people swear by them. So, try whatever and see what works for you. Most people that don't get car sick won't get seasick on a big ass cruise ship. Yeah, all major cruise ships have an infirmary. I think it's required that they have a doctor on board for 24/7. And they have a lot of nurses on board too. Okay, let's look at, I'm caught up on chat, so if I missed your question, ask it again. Do you always get interior cabins? Yeah, because they're cheaper. And for me, I don't really spend a lot of time in my cabin just to sleep, so for me they're great. And they're also super dark, and they're like caves. Will your cruise travel include freighter travel? Probably not. I lived on Navy ships for most of my life. I did 20 years in the U.S. Navy, and so that kind of travel doesn't really appeal to me anymore. I kind of like the bougie travel on a cruise ship. So I probably won't travel on freighters. I have a buddy who did that. I can't remember the name of his YouTube channel. He doesn't fly, so he travels on freighter ships. But it's a cool way to travel, but I probably won't. Have I heard of Super Mario? Yeah, I love Super Mario. He's one of the guys that inspired me to do this. I think the channel I saw him on was, oh God, what's her name? Alyssa with a Z. Her last name starts with a Z. How much money you spend on ports? I don't spend a lot of money in port, to be honest with you, unless I take an excursion, and then $30 to $50, $30 to $80. There we go. Alana Zagano is the one I'm talking about. I really like her YouTube channel too, and that's kind of what put the idea in my head of cruising for a year straight. So if you know Alana, say, hey, I'll go on Alana's channel if she wants to interview me. I would love to go on Alana's channel, and I'll promote her on my channel, obviously, which I'm doing now. Yeah, I love Alana's channel. It's more geared towards families on cruise ships, but her interviews with Super Mario, which is a guy who's been living on cruise ships for like over 20 years and working from cruise ships. He has a job as an investment advisor. It's a pretty cool story. What is your go-to for food on board? So Aaron, if you go to my last video that I put out today, early this morning, you'll see a lot of that because I'm trying to lose weight. And my go-to is the baked chicken, things like that. Salads, things like that. New subscriber just found your channel and I'm fascinated with a year-long premise. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, Janet, I think I'm actually going to end up doing more than a year on a cruise ship, to be honest with you. I'm really enjoying it, but we'll see. We'll see a year from now. Hey, we're 11 thumbs up from 300 thumbs up. So if you don't mind smashing the thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. I know I saw something from Melanie here. The Love Boat showed that the most important staff is the doctor, along with the bartender, and the captain's teenage daughter. Yeah. That's one thing I'm going to miss about Princess Ships, is they have all the episodes of the Love Boat on that you can watch. And I get real nostalgic when I watch it because it reminds me of my grandparents, because they used to watch the Love Boat all the time. Hey, 300 likes, yay! That's amazing, man. I can't believe I got 300 likes. Amazing. All right, if I missed your question, ask it again. My chat is moving like crazy fast. And if you put question, all caps in front of it, I'll know it's a question. Do you book through Cruise Plum? You cannot book through Cruise Plum or Cruise Line. I do not book through Cruise Plum. It's not a travel agency. It is just a search engine. That's why I like it. Kimberly says, you're totally right to love Unbound. I love their products. Yeah, Unbound's amazing. I'm really good friends now with their whole staff because I've been using them for so long. They have an amazing team as well. They're out of Canada for all you Canadians. It's a Canadian company. Did you find enough variety in foods? Yeah, there's so many varieties in foods on board a cruise ship. It's amazing, actually. MSC offers a low cost on the Yacht Club. Go for it. I might do Yacht Club in the future. Probably more as a review thing than anything. I don't like that kind of pampering. I think in the Yacht Club you get like a butler or something. What is your budget for 1 year of cruising? So I try to stay around $100 a day. So that would be what, 36,000? I'll probably push over 40,000 because I'm taking some cruises that are more destination focused, so they're more expensive. I could easily stay at $100, and I could easily do it for under $40,000 if I stuck to the Caribbean, to MSC and Costa cruises in Europe, and Alaskan cruises off season. I could definitely do it easy. Cruises out of Galveston, cruises out of Baltimore, cruises out of New York. I could definitely stay under 40K, but I want to go to some prime destinations, and so they cost a little bit more. I have a lot of videos about that too, by the way. Like, go look at my what this cruise costs, how I find cheap cruises, things like that. Yeah, my latest video is how I lost 9 pounds on my last cruise, and actually it's 11 pounds now, and hopefully it continues. I made that video a little bit before the end of that cruise. Any expedition cruises? Yeah, I'll be doing Antarctica for sure. Haven't booked it yet, but I'm also looking for Galapagos. I'll definitely do that. It's on my bucket list. Easter Island, Galapagos, places like that. Tahiti, Samoa, Pago Pago. That's all on my bucket list of cruises to do. Okay, I'm caught up again. If you put the question marks or question in all caps, I will know it's a question. It'll be easier for me to identify. If I missed your question, it wasn't on purpose. I'm not ignoring you. My chat just moves really quick. Kimberly says, whoop. Kimberly, oh, my chat's moving so quickly. Is there a cruise line you prefer over others? What is your top priority when looking for cruises, price? So I wouldn't say there's any that are special to me because I haven't cruised that much. I'm new to this. I've only cruised 3 cruise lines in my life. I've only, I think, had 6 cruises in my life, and 3 of those were last month. So, yeah, I don't even I don't even have an opinion on what my favorite cruise line is. I do love Princess because I love the technology on board. I love the medallion technology, and I also love that they give me a ton of onboard credit. and their butter pecan latte is amazing. But over the next month, I'll have been on Princess, MSC, and Royal, and then I'll be heading back to Princess, but then I'll be on Norwegian. And so I'll start to be able to make a more, I'll start to be able to give a more informed decision on that. Oh, my stuff is moving so quickly. Do you have any meetups planned with other YouTubers on your cruises? So I met that guy today, Brandon O'Brien, who was on the live chat, who's a YouTuber who does casino content on cruise ships, which I think is a pretty cool genre. He's got about 23,000 subscribers. So he's got a pretty substantial channel. So go check him out. I might do something with him. I don't know. I don't know how we'll cross paths. I never plan that kind of stuff. You know me. I don't like to plan anything. I will be on a cruise with Chili Cruises coming up. So me and Chili will probably do some stuff. He does mostly stuff for cruisers with special needs and mobility challenged cruisers. And so, I'll probably talk to him about that. I'm really interested in that. So, but no formal plans. Best way to park a car at the port, I have no idea. GSM, because I don't do that. Check out Let's Go Travel Tips. Check out, I'm trying to think of other people who, Pero DJ has some good, always parks. So Pero DJ, Let's Go Travel Tips. Yeah, they would be able to answer that way better than me. Are more cruises offering single travel? I think you mean solo prices. I went on a big rant at the beginning of this. Don't focus on solo supplement and all that stuff. Focus on what the cruise is going to cost you per day, and that's how you can compare cruise to cruise, similar itineraries. Because a cruise where you pay double occupancy might be cheaper than a cruise where you pay no double occupancy. Figure out what it costs you per day to cruise on a ship. You can use Cruise Plum; they do it for you. Cruise Plum doesn't make any money; they're just a search engine, and you can search by solo cruises. But that's how I find all my cruises. What ship will I be on April 2nd through 8th? Geez, I have no idea. Probably April. I think Caribbean Princess, but I could be wrong. I never know. I never know unless I have it in front of me. It's not something I forget. People ask me, hey, what's your first port on MSC Meraviglia? I have no idea. I never know what port I'm going to be in the next day. I always look on the cruise itinerary that I get the night before, and I go, oh, okay, tomorrow we're going to be in Costa Maya, Mexico. Great. I never know. That's how I cruise. I know it's not the way other people cruise, but that's how I cruise. Yeah, go check out Let's Go Travel Tips. They've been super gracious letting me post on their Facebook page my videos, and it's got me a bunch of cruise subscribers. So if you're interested in cruise content, especially Princess stuff, although they're expanding out and doing more, go there, subscribe to them, comment one of their videos, hey, 30 to Wake Up sent me over, so they know that I'm at least reciprocating their generosity. Generosity. Question, from one master chief to another, what is the hardest thing about cruising full-time? What is the hardest thing about cruising full-time? Let me think, brother. What is the hardest thing? There's pretty much nothing hard about cruising. I think for me, I guess, is when I leave a ship. I'm staying on most of the ships I'm on for a good 3 to 4 weeks. This one I'm only on 11 days, but the transit in between, like switching to a new home port, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I usually have a day in between cruises, and it's just a pain in the ass day. I wish there was a way to always hop from ship to ship like immediately, but it's not. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. But yeah, there's no negatives that I can think of. It's amazing. Cruising's awesome, man, especially for a former sailor like us. It's amazing. Someone asked, do people flirt with me? I don't know. I mean, people are nice generally on cruise ships. I don't know if that's would be flirting, but I'm not like a, a rock star where people are throwing their delicates on board stage. How far in advance do you plan your cruise legs? So I don't really have a plan for that. I just, whenever I see a deal that fits into my schedule, I book it. So like right now I'm watching a cruise pretty closely on the back end of my Iceland-Norway cruise. That fits really well, but the price isn't right. But pretty soon they'll be in that 120-day window when final payment is due. And a lot of times cruise prices will drop after final payment is due because people will decide they don't want to do the cruise and just lose their $100 deposit, or they paid that travel insurance that allows them to get a full refund. So yeah, I don't really plan out. But right now I have, let's see, what is it? February, March, April, May, June. I'm booked to the end of June. So I'm booked 4 months out, right? So yeah, 310 thumbs up. That's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Will you add some perks for members? Yeah, oh, members of the channel. Yeah, I need to revamp my membership on here. I'm really bad. I think I'm definitely going to do members only live stream. I know I said in the past I wouldn't do that, but I think I'm going to do that because I've had some members that have been members of my channel for over 2 years. Even when I didn't make videos for 6-7 months, they maintain their membership, and that's just super generous of them, and I'm super appreciative. So I think I might do some live streams so they can get like their question 100% for sure answered. Even though when I do these live streams, I try to answer every question. When I'm on StreamYard on my computer, I can scroll slower, but it moves really, really quickly when I'm doing it on my phone, which I have to on these cruise ships. So I will be adding more perks for members. I'd like to, man, I'm hoping at some point, I don't know how, I got to figure out the logistics and legality of giveaways. I'd like to give some cruises away to channel members because I really want to introduce people to cruising. I love it. And I might even do that for subscribers too, not just channel members. I'm not trying to get people to join my channel. A channel member asked me that, and it's because I've been not giving them a lot of stuff. I've been releasing my cruise videos right away to build a cruise audience, but in the future, I'll probably have a backlog of videos, and so I will release them to channel members sooner, so that'll be a Benny. If you're a channel member, if you're a subscriber and you're on a cruise ship with me, you know, I would do meetups. I don't have that kind of cruise subscriber base yet, where I probably don't have any subscribers on my channel on this cruise ship. So I don't know what that would be like. I don't know when that'll be feasible, but yeah. Do you ever have a hotel stay in between cruises? Yes, Tracy, I answered this earlier, but I have a Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, which gives me a ton of points for travel. Cruising counts as travel. All my flights and cruises I book with points, and so I really don't pay for hotels or flights on cruise ships or on my cruise itinerary. And if you ask another question, please ask again. I find as an author that giveaways and memberships can be tricky in the U.S. state from a tax law. Yeah, YouTube has standards for it. It's probably easier to do with members. I know for subscribers, they have a bunch of rules now. It used to be subscribers everyone did giveaways for subscribers, but now they have all kinds of rules for it. But yeah, I'll figure something out. I would love to be able to gift some channel members cruises. What would you guess the percentage of solo cruisers is on cruises? What types of people are they? So I would say it's probably in the neighborhood of 10%. I'd say 5 to 10%. So on a cruise ship with 3,000 people, that'd be about 300. And that's just straight solo cruisers like me, like by themselves. There's probably a lot of people who are cruising with their buddy, their friend, that maybe you wouldn't consider solo, but are like single people. And so I would put them in that group too. So I think that would push it up to maybe like 15, 20%. So, you have girlfriends that travel together and they're out there, living their best life on the dance floor. I would consider them in the same category as solo. So I'd probably say 15, 20%. So that's a good number. And what kind of people are they? I'd say it's people all different walks of life. One of my best friends on cruising, two people I'll mention here. One of them is probably watching right now, Andrea Gold. She was on a cruise. She was on the Sky Princess with me. I met her on the first cruise. Great lady. We chat all the time on Facebook, and she introduced me to Rakuten, which I have a link down below, which gives me 1.5% cash back on Princess cruises and 4% cash back on Celebrity cruises, which was awesome. She introduced me to that, and I'll be forever grateful to her because that's going to save me tons of money. Where was I going with that? So yeah, I met her on board. I've met on Ruby Princess, I met a 92-year-old guy named Trevor from Canada. He was amazing. He was out there getting 10, 20,000 steps a day with me. He was an awesome guy, had an amazing story. He had been cruising since like the late 1940s, early 50s. And so he had all kinds of like cool stories about cruising, which was awesome. Yeah. And Kaylee put the Rakuten website, but there's a link down below that if you use that link, they give you $30 and they give me $30. So free money. And then you get 1.5% off cruises. They have a bunch of other things like Nike, but they give cash back, which is cool. And Kevin, you're in Nassau tomorrow. See, I'm going to be tomorrow, and I don't even know that. I'm going to be in the Nassau, Bahamas tomorrow, which I've never been to. Kevin, do you know do you know much about travel booking insurance? Any resources you can share? I don't know a lot about it, Apple. So I mentioned this before in here. I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, which is an expensive credit card, but if you travel a lot, it's worth it. You get a ton of points back for travel, but you also get a ton of perks. Like in the airports, I get access to all the airport lounges. I also get three forms of insurance that are really helpful. Number one, I get car insurance, which I've used, so I don't have to elect car insurance if I rent a car. I've actually used it. I've gotten in a wreck. It was like $2,000 worth of damage. Chase Sapphire Reserve paid for it, so I know it works. The two that are really cruise specific are they give me $2,000 trip cancellation credit or insurance. So if it gets canceled for anything that's not my fault, if I do something like I just don't want to go on the cruise, I won't get it. But if the cruise gets canceled or something like that, they'll reimburse me up to $10,000. They also give me $100,000 evacuation insurance. So if I need to be evacuated from somewhere, they cover $100,000 for any trip 50 days or less. And all my cruises are booked with Chase Sapphire Reserve, and they're all 50 days or less. And I have my own medical insurance through Humana. What are the differences between MSC and Princess so far? So I haven't been on MSC that long. I got on here a couple hours ago, so I can't make a huge comparison. What I will say is Princess has a very elegant kind of throwback look. It's very bright, it's very open. Even in my inside stateroom, it's so bright in that stateroom. I have no idea what the stateroom's like here. I haven't been yet. Cabin. I call it stateroom because I was in the Navy. That's what we call those. But Princess is much brighter, very light colors, a lot of brass, a lot of light yellowy looking colors, white, a lot of blue and white. This ship is darker colors, like maroons, like oranges, like grays. It's definitely more European. I said this earlier, it reminds me of like a fancy Vegas hotel like MGM Grand, or Caesar's Palace, or somewhere like that. It reminds me very much of casino decor, casino hotel decor. And I don't mean cheesy, I just mean it feels like a high-end casino. And when you walk through the atrium on this thing, it reminds me of like walking through the atrium at a casino. It's all these shops and all this video screen at top, and yeah, it looks really cool. The outside decks are really awesome. I love teak, and the floors are not real teak, which is smart because teak is so hard to take care of, and it would be a nightmare for the crew. But there is a lot of teak-looking stuff which I like. So yeah, it's nice. The music that's playing is modern, where on Princess it was a little bit dated. Wasn't a lot of modern music going on. All the music is top 40 that I'm hearing on here, and I like that too. I'm like kind of like a top 40 guy. So, but yeah, man, you moderators are killing it. Thank you. What backpack and suitcase are you using? So I'm using this level 7. I think I have an Amazon link to it. I really like it. It's been a great case so far. What I really like about it is the wheels are really good, and that's what's important with these rollers. I didn't do a backpack because carrying a backpack around a cruise ship is tough, and I wanted to be able to pack a little bit more. So. Hey Kevin, how you doing, man? Hey, if you asked a question, I didn't answer it, ask it again. I'm on my phone. My chat is going a million miles an hour, and so, yeah. Please ask it again. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I should do it with this. Well, nope, that one blocks it even more. Any COVID issues, especially with the 70? I was on a ship for 21 days, and I did not see any. I didn't hear about anybody getting COVID. I did hear some people that left the ship that had COVID afterwards, but they could have got that on the flight. For those who don't know, I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the original one. I got 2 boosters, and I've had COVID twice. So. Ooh. Any plans for a Virgin cruise? Yeah, I definitely want to take a Virgin. Hey, Nana on the runs in the house. What's going on? How are you doing? Yeah, I definitely want to take a Virgin cruise. I really like the concept of Virgin, which is all-inclusive. So the price you see for Virgin is all-inclusive, except I found out recently it wasn't alcohol, which is fine. I don't drink. But there is, but they have nothing but specialty restaurants, which I think is really cool. I'm all about the food. Kimberly says, have you considered organizing a group cruise? No, I will never do that. I said this earlier. I don't mean to sound mean about it. Anyone who's followed me knows I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't like to schedule anything. I didn't even know what port we're visiting tomorrow. And I won't know usually till the day before on a cruise ship. I don't even look at it. Because I have no idea what I'm going to want to do 3 hours from now, much less 3 days from now. And if it was a group cruise, I would feel responsible for people's cruise experience. That's just how I am. I was a command mast chief in the Navy, and my job was basically to take care of people all day, their needs, to make sure all of their barriers, they had all the training, any issues they had were taken care of. So they could get their job done, and so I don't want to do that. They're talking right now, so they're talking. So I wouldn't do that. I would not do a cruise, a group cruise, but I would go on someone else's group cruise and let everyone know about it.
beautiful ship, and she really is amazing. As you make your way around the ship, grab a drink, try one of our delicious cocktails, and speak with our many
I'm letting him talk. As soon as he's done talking, I'll get back to
Also, don't forget
what we're talking about.
The excursions team. We've got some incredible excursions this cruise. They are located on deck 6. I know that
someone said you should try Scandinavia cruising. Borat, I have a cruise. I have a cruise scheduled that's going from Fort Lauderdale to Iceland and then all the Norwegian fjords. 33 days. So I will be in Scandinavia.
Hey, don't forget to link your credit card with your cruise.
Sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear me while he's talking. That's why I'm not.
With your cruise card, and you can do that with the activation points which are located around the atrium of deck.
Okay, so you guys can hear me over him? Okay, good. Okay.
Just a quick reminder that the market buffet is open.
What was your experience as a lawyer like? It was great. I was a juvenile defense attorney, and then I was a corporate attorney, basically defending pharmaceutical companies. I loved it, but I missed traveling, and so I decided to embark on a new career making YouTube videos. I've been fortunate. After a couple years, it started to generate an income, and now it generates almost enough to fully fund my travels. Not quite yet, but it's getting there. Have you been able to stay in contact with your Thailand Farang friends? Yeah, man. Some of them were in the live stream. I'm Facebook friends with a lot of them. Chocolate Man in Thailand is a good buddy of mine. Digital Thailand Nomad, obviously. Yeah, I have so many good Farang friends. Farang means foreigner, by the way. All right, if I missed your question, please ask it again, and I will get to it. Yeah, someone was a nurse for 42 years. Yeah, I just like doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and I would feel responsible for other people's cruise experience. And so again, I would do other people's group, like I might do one of Let's Go Travel Tips organized cruises. I'll probably do Passion for Cruises USA. I'll do one of theirs. I'm in the Cruises for Solos group, and they do a lot in the UK. And so I will probably do someone else's group cruise, and I'll tell you about it. I'll be like, hey, I'm doing this group cruise, and you can come, but I won't do my own. I like doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and I would feel obligated to help people out. Do you have an exercise and fitness routine? So that's funny you mentioned that. Today I released a video about how I lost 9 pounds on my last cruise. I do. I try to walk 20,000 steps a day on cruise ships, and that's my main form of exercise. But yeah, go check out that video. Is MSC cheaper than Norwegian? Yes, way cheaper. You can pretty much get a balcony on MSC for the price you can get a inside cabin on Norwegian. Trying to go back and see what questions I missed. Yeah, it's just jumping up on me. What is my favorite thing to do on a cruise? My favorite thing to do on a cruise? Eat. And just chill and listen to live music. Actually, I would say live music. That's one thing I love about cruising, is there's so much live music. Almost any time of day you can find a venue that has live music. You go sit and chill, listen to live music, have good conversation with the people sitting around you, and it's just awesome. Drink a cocktail. Does the cruise price include flights? Most of the time, no, but you can book packages that include flights, and a lot of cruise lines have their own, like Princess has Easy Air that they use. I normally don't do that. I just book it myself because I book with my credit card points. But yeah. Any problems with weed on cruises? I have not heard anything about weed on cruises, to be honest with you, or smelt it or anything. If I didn't have dogs, this would be something I would try for a couple of months. There's actually a lot of cruise lines that allow dogs. Queen Mary 2, someone mentioned, allows a lot of dogs, and most cruise lines actually allow a certain amount of dogs per cruise, and they don't have to be service dogs. Some they have to be, but some don't. All right, again, if I missed your question, ask it again. And if you put question in all caps, I'll know it's a question. but my chat is moving so quickly, it's hard for me to stay up on it. I thought there was a way where I could make this chat stay up, but it's not. Question, if you from the Mass Cruiser. Hey, the Mass Cruiser, I've heard of you before. Where have I seen you before? I've seen you in another chat. If you've ever been on a lure of the sea, no, I have not. Did you learn anything later that you wish you would have knew day one? If you have been on a lure, I have not ever been on a lure. I've never been on a Royal Caribbean ship. My first Royal Caribbean ship will be Enchantment of the Seas. I'll be on it for a month, starting in about 1.5 weeks after this cruise. And I'll be doing Symphony of the Seas out of Singapore. But I do want to try the Royal Caribbean ships, especially the new ones. But they're so expensive compared to other cruises with same itineraries. And I'm not a huge water slide person, so. Addie would want to make friends with everyone through Amy. Is Emma Cruises in here? Is Emma in here? Did I miss Emma? See, I'm not a celebrity, but there's a celebrity in my chat. Emma Cruises is in my chat. I love Emma Cruises. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels. I've been following her for years, long before I decided to do this cruise adventure. I'd always liked the idea of going on cruises. She said Hudson is there too. Hudson is her cat. Emma does amazing charity work, by the way. She sold these plushies of her cat. Hudson, called him Captain Hudson, and Hudson's always on her live streams. It's a tabby cat, always on her live streams. Anyway, she did that and she raised a ton of money for charity. She shaved her head for charity. You know, I just shaved my head because you guys told me to. Emma's doing all kinds of great work on her YouTube channel. She doesn't need me to recommend her channel. Her channel is super popular. She's one of the, I saw this list the other day of top 50 cruise channels. I think she was number 2 or 3, and I'm sure she'll be number 1 before too long because her channel is just so good. Her cruise content is so good, and one of my go-to places. Someone just applied for a Southwest card, very cool. All right, again, if I have missed your question, please ask it again. Any awkward or lonely times as a solo cruiser? So I'm an introvert. I know it may not seem that way, but I am very much an introvert. I'm actually pretty far over on the introvert spectrum too, so alone time doesn't bother me at all, being alone. But the good thing about a cruise ship is whenever you want to be alone, you can be alone. And when you don't want to be alone, you can tap into all kinds of things. You can go to solo meetups. You can go to a venue with music and watch it. You can go to the theater and watch a play. You can go to, when you go to the dining room, you can ask to be seated with other people. When you go to, you know, there's just a ton of different things to do. You can be an idiot like me talking into his phone and then people come up to you and say, hey, are you a YouTuber? Emma's got a question. She says, what cabin do you have on MSC ship? I love MSC cabin. So I'm in an interior cabin. I'm very much like you, Emma. I only book interiors. If I get an upgrade, great. I only sleep in there, so I don't need fancy smancy cabins. Would I take an upgrade? Yeah. If you don't know this, Emma, I am diamond on MSC. I've never been on an MSC ship before today, but I am the highest MSC membership level because I was the highest level with Hilton hotels, and MSC matches hotels, airlines, and other cruise lines. And so today I was like the 5th person to get on the ship because there weren't that many. I thought there'd be a lot of people like this because they'll match, but there was only like 30 of us. So I got on the ship first, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, I'm an inside cabin guy. I love inside cabins. I like to sleep, and an inside cabin, I like to sleep cold and dark. An inside cabin, you can get it super cold and super dark. And it's like sleeping in a cave, you know, like hibernating like you were a bear. So, yeah, I don't know what freebies I get with this card. I'm super interested. I know one of them I think is chocolate covered cherries, not cherries. I wish it was cherries, strawberries. I'm not 100% sure what I get with this. I think maybe a chocolate chip or something, which would be terrible for my diet. I love chocolate, by the way. So smaller ships, cheaper, and many more options. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Enchantment of the Seas, which is one of Royal Caribbean's smaller ships. But that cruise, it's Royal Caribbean, which tends to be more expensive. It's less than $100 a day, and I'm on there for a month. I'm doing three cruises on there, 3 different itineraries. So it's not like I'm doing the same itinerary. Is being an introvert ever a problem? No, I think being an introvert is great for solo travel, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's not a problem for me at all. Emma says I'm gonna get Prosecco. Is that alcohol? I don't even know. I don't really drink that much, so what I'll do if they give me something like that is whenever the first Solo Cruisers meetup is, I will bring that bottle with me to the Solo Cruisers meetup and try to make a bunch of good friends because I'm giving them free alcohol. MSC matches airline status, so I'm super elite with Aeroplane. I wonder if that would get me top tier. Yeah, I don't know how they figure it out. I was top tier with Hilton, and so I got top tier with MSC. And the great thing about it is as long as you book an MSC cruise every 2 years, you keep your status. It's not like a one-time thing or anything. Like I am their highest status, which is awesome. Super cool. What cruise ship has had the best music? So Wanda, I've only been on 2 cruise ships in the last couple months, and so sorry, I just got a new member. Heather, thanks for joining. That's awesome. I'm going to try to do more things for members in the future because I don't do enough things for members. And I lost my train of thought on what the question was. Oh, best music. So I've only been on Princess ships. So my answer to that is going to be Princess. However, when I walk on this MSC ship, the music playing over the loudspeakers is more modern top 40 music, where Princess, it's a little bit older music. And I'm a top 40 guy. I mean, I know I'm old, but I actually like new modern music. If you saw my if you saw my playlist on Spotify, you would think I was like a 17-year-old kid. So I'm enjoying the music they're playing. I don't know if that equates to that's how their live music is going to be, but I'm a live music person, and I've heard this ship has a lot of live music venues, like intimate venues, like with guitar players singing. That's my type of thing. If you guys haven't ever seen my other YouTube channel, which has no subscribers, it has me playing music and singing from like 10 or 12 years ago. I used to be a musician, and yeah, but so I love that kind of thing. All right. Emma says, have you found MSC Pizza yet? I have not. I just got on board, started doing this live stream, and so I haven't found anything but water and Coke because they don't have Pepsi Zero. Woo. Priority access to the tender boat. I get priority access to the tender boat with this. That's good to know, although I don't know if I'm doing any tendered stuff. So I can't wait till you see the MSC theater shows. I'm excited about it. Let me go back to whoever joined this channel so I can see. Heather F. Thank you, Heather F. And thank you, Kaylee, who gifted a bunch of channel memberships earlier, like a rock star. Kevin. Yeah, Kaylee has done that twice. She's made it rain in my live stream, giving people memberships. Kevin, you're not old. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't feel old. I feel young. Specialty restaurant dinner, no beverages. What? God, my thing is moving so quickly. Specialty restaurant dinner. I get a free dinner with this at a specialty restaurant? Hell yeah. Plus 1 guest. I need to find a guest. Are any of you on this Princess cruise that would like to go, not Princess, this MSC cruise that would like to go to a specialty dinner with me? Any river cruises. So I want to take my mom on a Christmas river cruise in Europe. I'm working on booking it. So yes, there will definitely be some river cruising. Kimberly says, tell us about the noise level for sleeping. I've never had an issue with noise. I lived on U.S. Navy aircraft carriers where they'd be landing planes on it at 2 o'clock in the morning. So there's not a whole lot of noise that bothers me, so I'm not a good judge of that. Sometimes my hangers would clank, but that's my own fault for putting them too close together, and that woke me up once. But other than that, no. Ooh, someone said I get macaroons in my cabin. I love macaroons. Emma's watching with a Pepsi, and I got a new channel member. Wanda's in the house. I'm gonna try to do more stuff for channel members, I promise. I'm a terrible channel manager. Hey, we're 10 thumbs up away from 350 if you don't mind smashing it. I don't know how many subscribers we're away from 100K, but we're closing in. I'm trying to be a rock star like Emma, who's got like 200,000 subscribers or 300,000 by now probably. So if you haven't joined yet, or if you haven't become a subscriber, that's free. So just join it. I would love to have Emma as a guest, but I know Emma's kind of like me. She's on her own program, and I would never burden her with like, be my guest, Emma. Love your channel, love your adventures, specifically the year abroad remote year. Did you do videos on that? Yeah, that was almost 4 years ago is when I started that, Mitch. So go check out my very first videos. Those are all remote year videos. For those who don't know, remote year is a group travel program. You travel with the same people for a year. You live in a different country every 30 days. Most of them are working professionals that can work remotely. I did that for a year, met amazing people. Some of them were on this live chat. Lindsay was on this live chat earlier. I'm still great friends with them. We hang out. Yeah, if I go to Belize, one of my remote year buddies is in Belize right now, living there, and so I'll hang out with him. I do a Belize port visit. Will you do a mean comments response? Emma did a hilarious one. Yeah, I actually watched that the other day because, man, I get some mean comments. So I can't even imagine being a woman on YouTube. The comments I get as a middle-aged man, I can't imagine being a woman that does this. But yeah, I get some pretty mean comments. And some of them are just ridiculously uninformed comments too. But yeah, I should do one of those mean comments video. MSC have some rather interesting adult channels on the TV. It's good to know. That's good to know. That sounds very Italian to me though. I don't know if you know this, Emma, but I lived in Italy for 2 years when I was stationed in the military there in Gaeta in the 98 to 2000. And yeah, I mean, they're much more open about that kind of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that they have that. Emma says she'd be a guest. Okay, I haven't done guest thing on here in a long time. I would love for Emma to be my guest. Do you use Chase Portal to book cruises? I have not used Chase to book cruises because it's usually not cost effective to do that. It's more cost effective for me to book with my Chase card and get all the points from the cruises actually than it is for me to use it. And there's not a whole lot of selection. It's mostly celebrity. It's mostly overpriced cruises once you go to the solo price. I use Cruise Plum to find my cruises, and I usually book directly through the cruise line. I haven't used a travel agent yet because I wanted to know the ins and outs of booking cruises, and I'll be honest with you, most travel agents I've talked with, they don't really know how to find good solo deals because that's not really their focus. Maybe if I can find one that does, I'd be more, I think more about doing that. One YouTuber only reads positive comments. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be funny to read some of them are just entertainingly funny. Some of them are homophobic, racist, like that stuff I'd never respond to that. Those people just get blocked, and I don't give them the time of day. I don't want to feed those trolls. But some of them are like legitimately funny. Like the 30 and the wake up thing is funny to me. Like people will say, dang dude, you look old for 30, stuff like that. I think that's funny, actually. Nana says, have you seen any sketchy things going on the cruise ships? I haven't seen any sketchy things going on the cruise ship, but I was on Princess and I was on 14-day cruises, and they tend to attract an older crowd. Maybe if I was on a Carnival cruise line, I don't know, we'll see how this MSC one is. This is an 11-day cruise, although I think the first part of it's only a 3-day cruise. So maybe there'll be some, President's Day partiers on board. We shall see. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more people on this cruise ship than were on Sky Princess. Yeah, Ramona, sometimes people will make a fake channel of mine and then start commenting on things. That's usually for crypto stuff, though. But sometimes they'll do other things, and I usually find them really quickly and get rid of them. If you don't know this about my channel, I have answered every single comment I have ever received on this channel. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of comments. I have, 15 million views. I've had tons of comments. I've answered every single comment ever. So I see the comments, and if there's a crappy comment, I get rid of it. For these live streams, it's really hard for me to do, especially when I'm using my phone. And I have some great moderators on here, Going Green Mom, Kaylee, Elvie, all kinds of great moderators. And to quote Emma, I wouldn't be able to do this without them. You travel a lot, so you use your travel card, one that would cover your travel insurance and emergency evacuation. Yes, I have Chase Sapphire Reserve, which gives me $10,000 if my trip gets canceled, up to $10,000. It also gives me $100,000 evacuation insurance for any trip I book under 50 days. And I don't book any cruises that are over 50 days. So, yeah. So my credit card does cover me, so I don't get the travel insurance. Do your own research. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Do your own research, but it has worked for me. I've actually got an offender bender in a rental car that was covered by that same credit card for rental car insurance, and it was $2,000 worth of damage. My credit card company paid for it. Yeah, Kaylee says she's seen some horrifying comments on female YouTube channels. Yeah, I can't even imagine. When are your Mediterranean cruises? So in May, I leave for a 33-day transatlantic cruise. It'll take me to Halifax, then to Iceland for 4 ports, and then like 10, 15 ports in Norway. And then I'll end up in Southampton, and then I'll be cruising. I'll probably do another cruise out of Southampton, and then, which will probably go into the Mediterranean, maybe the Baltic though. I'm debating right now with myself, and then we'll do some in Mediterranean, and then we'll head over to Asia. Do you find it difficult to balance time filming, answering questions, and having a good time? No, I don't. I don't do my YouTube videos aren't super complicated. I do put a lot of time into editing, but they're not super complicated. And so no, it doesn't. I mean, all you got to really do. I mean, look at Emma's channel. Her channel is like huge, and she was able to leave her job and do YouTube full time. And I think she does 1 video a week and then live streams. And I'm saying 1 video a week. Her videos are very intricate, so her videos are probably a lot more time consuming than mine. But you don't have to do a ton of videos. I've been putting out a lot of content because I'm trying to build a cruise audience. I have probably 6,000 to 7,000 cruise watchers now. And so I've been putting out more content than I normally would. Did you see the new tax to enter Thailand? I did not see that. They will not cover any accident. Yeah, that's all. When I went there, they required some kind of insurance that I just sent to the embassy or something. I can't remember exactly though. How are you going how are you going to use onboard credit? I don't have any onboard credit with these guys, I don't think. Maybe I have $50, maybe they gave me $50. I don't have any. With Princess, I get so much onboard credit. I mean, now I get $250 for a 14-day cruise. I get $250 for being military, $250 for owning Carnival stock. I get the $125 because I have a bunch of future cruise credits, and I get whatever the promotion is at the time. So I get like $700, $800, $900 onboard credit. And I don't get that with other cruise lines, which is another reason I love Princess. Because I can live La Vida. I'm like making it rain on Princess cruises. How do I keep stocked up on essentials? So the cruise ships always sell toothpaste, Q-tips, deodorant, things like that. I usually, I know I probably shouldn't go there and get it, but I do. It's probably more expensive. It's not, to be honest with you, it's not that more expensive. And when I was on Princess, I had all that onboard credit anyway, and they deduct it from onboard credit, so it was like it was free. But a lot of cruise ships pull into places with Walgreens. If you go to San Juan Cruise Port, there's a Walgreens right when you step off the ship. So a lot of cruise ports have duty-free shops that sell that stuff too, a little bit cheaper, little pharmacies that sell stuff. So yeah, if you ask a question, please re-ask it. My chat is moving so fast. Any cruise line you don't plan to travel on? No, I'm open to any cruise line. I'm going to try to do some of the more premium ones. I'm going to do the $100 a day for a while, but I'm going to try to do some premium ones too. I think I'm going to live it up a little bit. Maybe do Azamara. I really want to do Queen Mary too. I'm going to do some more not so budget-friendly cruise lines as well. I plan on doing Galapagos, which is going to be expensive. I plan on doing Antarctica, which is probably going to be expensive. But I will show people that you can do $100 a day or under and live on cruise ships nonstop. It's 100% possible if you live in the Caribbean for a lot of the year. When you're in Europe, you take MSC and Costa cruises, and you do Alaskan cruises at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season. You can definitely do it. You can live full-time on a cruise ship, easy, $100 a day. Is YouTube your only job? Yes, it is my only job. I obviously I'm older. I mentioned this a lot. I was in the military for 20 years, so when you do 20 years in the military in the United States, they give you a pension. I get a military pension. I also made some smart investments. I have a rental property, so I do have income from that. I was a corporate lawyer for a while, and I invested all that money. I didn't spend any of it. And YouTube, it took me 2 years to make any money on YouTube, but now it makes decent money, almost enough to fund my travels. Not quite at that level yet. It was in the past when I was van lifing because I got a lot more views. It was able to fund my travel full time, but it's getting there again. And my plan is just to keep growing the YouTube channel, and then when it funds my travels, after that, maybe giving some back to channel members through like free cruises and stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes. You never know with YouTube. It's up and down. Hey, speaking of famous YouTubers, Fraser at Sea is in the house. Go check out Fraser at Sea's channel. He's doing the exact same thing I'm doing, but he's starting in about a month. So go check out Fraser. Go subscribe to him right now. Stop what y'all are subscribed to Emma. I don't need to shout out Emma, but if you're not, go subscribe to Emma. She's, I think 300,000 subscribers now. She's kind of a big deal. Fraser is moving up the ranks. Go subscribe to Fraser at Sea. Let's Go Travel Tips. They're not on the live stream, but please go over to Let's Go Travel Tips. Subscribe to their channel. They've been super gracious to me and let me post my videos on their Facebook channel, which has nothing but cruisers on it, Princess cruisers, and I was on Princess ship, so I got a ton of watchers because of that. So make sure you go to all those places. Let's Go Travel Tips with Allison and Gordon, and Fraser at Sea, Emma Travels, all those, and subscribe and tell them 30 to Wake I'm saying. All right, if I missed your question, ask it again. Please ask it again. We've been going for a little bit over 2 hours. I'm waiting for them to announce that my stateroom is ready. Question, how will you celebrate 100K? I haven't figured that out yet. man, I haven't even thought about it. How should I don't know how should I celebrate 100,000 subscribers? That's such a like that was my goal when I started, and I struggled for a couple years to get subscribers. And it took me about a year to get to 1,000, maybe a little less, and 2 years to get to 10,000, and then it was just a grind, you know. And so I'd be super appreciative. Emma, how did you celebrate 100,000 subscribers? Mitch said, do you get recognized a lot? So I'm not known in the cruising genre at all. So not at first, but I had 2 videos that for me was a lot of views, got over 50,000 views in the cruise genre. And so when I was on the Princess cruise, it was 3 7-day cruises, and the first 2 cruises, nobody. The third cruise, lots of people. And then when I walked on this MSC cruise today, a guy recognized me right away. And so it's starting to happen, which is a little bit freaky. Emma's got a question. She says, is there anything you overpack for a cruise? For me, it's medicine. Anything I overpack? Probably shirts, t-shirts. I probably have too many t-shirts. I wear merino wool, which if you don't know anything about merino wool, Emma, you should research it. It is amazing travel material, and you don't need to pack with a lot. As a matter of fact, I have a buddy that travels with 2 shirts in Southeast Asia. That's all he has. 2 shirts, a couple pair of shorts. But I would say I probably overpack the amount of t-shirts I have. I have 10 merino wool shirts. And I probably only need 5. I do also overpack on the medicine. I have Dayquil, NyQuil. I have seasick pills, which I never get seasick, but I still have them. I have Bonine, which is another seasick type of pill. I have Advil, which I have a bad back, so I use Advil. Yeah. But I would definitely say shirts. And I end up wearing the same shorts and shirts all the time anyway, the ones I really like. So I don't know why I do it, but I do. But I still I'm carry-on only. For those who don't know, I travel carry-on only. I have nothing but this little baby right here. I wear my sport coat, so yeah. Hey, we've got 363 thumbs up. Can we get to 400? I don't know if that's possible, but can we get to 400? That is the question of the day. Emma said, I celebrated 100K subs by going to the chip shop. I'm assuming by chip shop you mean like fish and chips, which for an American would be French fries. So I'm assuming that's what you mean by chip shop. I could be wrong. Could mean chocolate chips. But I know Emma does this special segment on her channel called Britishisms, where she says things like, if you didn't know, like a biscuit is what Americans would call a cookie. What Americans call a biscuit is what a British person might call a scone. So she has all these Britishisms, and it's really interesting. Just wondering, is there a cabin window in your cabin? No, I'm in an inside cabin, no cabin window. Maybe I'll do ocean view at some point. I've been thinking about upgrading my cabin on my Norwegian cruise to a balcony or an ocean view. I've been thinking about that. I think that kind of place would be good for that. I've been thinking about doing that. But that's a 33-day cruise, so that's probably an expensive upgrade. I tell people all the time, and I used to say this in my RV, I lived out of my RV, I lived out of my van. When I traveled overseas, I lived out of my condo that I lived in. So I always lived in a tiny condo because I don't need a lot. I'm a single guy. I eat out for every meal. My refrigerator usually has Pepsi Max, cherry Pepsi Max if they have it. And that's about it in it. So I don't need a lot. And so I don't need other kind of cabins because, I mean, I have a balcony view right now. I don't need it doesn't have a lot of value for me for the money you have to spend. I'd much rather spend my money on other things that I want to do, maybe excursions, maybe specialty dining, I'm a foodie. It's much more valuable to me than a balcony that I probably wouldn't spend much time out on anyway. And at night, early in the morning, it would drive me nuts when I wanted to go to sleep. Rick Steve says Americans tend to pack for worst case scenario. I agree with that. For those who don't know, I lived out of a 20-liter backpack for 3 years, not counting my van life, and I did it. And I didn't feel a need for anything. And I kind of took that into cruising, but I did pack more shirts, thinking it might be difficult to do laundry, and it hasn't been so far. Real quick, I'm going to check my battery life, so it might freeze up here. I've got about 30% battery, so I should have just waited for the battery warning. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Do you use all your Princess onboard credit? Yes, I used it all. I had $575. I overspent by $1. So my internet, 60 specialty coffees, 4 excursions, and 1 specialty dining, I think, cost me $32 after my onboard credit was applied. Oh, and $3 for laundry. Has anything surprised you about the ship so far? No, not really. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm kind of a YouTube addict. Not only do I make YouTube videos, but I love YouTube. And I've seen a lot of videos about Meraviglia. It's a very popular cruise ship to do a cruise vlog about. And so I kind of knew what to expect. But I will be honest with you, there's a lot of things you don't see on people's cruise blogs, like the elevator banks. They have like puffy seats to sit in. It reminds me, I said this earlier, it reminds me a lot of a hotel in Vegas, like the decor. The decor is very similar to like MGM Grand, Caesar's Palace. It's not cheesy. It's nice. It's like a nice upper end hotel look. It's darker colors, Princess, very light colors, very bright, very airy feeling in the ship. This one so far, darker colors, a little. Again, it feels more like a high-end casino hotel. Do you ever steam your shirts? I don't iron my shirts. Merino wool, the wrinkles fall out. I would show you, but I have this little spray bottle I bring with me, and I just fill it up with water, and everything I own is made of merino wool or some kind of fabric where you just spray it. It even works on my cotton shorts. You just spray it with water, hang it in your stateroom, all the wrinkles fall out. And that's why I don't worry about packing. I roll everything when I pack. I unpack it in my stateroom. I bring a clothesline with me. I put everything up, spray it all down. The next day I have no wrinkles. I put it all in my closet. Good for the cruise. Don't have to iron or anything. And so that's what I do. I never iron. For weight loss, what times do you eat? I eat when I'm hungry. I don't really have a specific time that I eat. I don't normally eat breakfast personally. I drink foo-foo coffees, which are probably a ton of calories. I love my foo-foo coffee. On Princess, it was a butter pecan latte. I don't know what it'll be here on MSC Meraviglia, but my friend told me that the cappuccinos on here are amazing, and I'm excited to try them. She said they're way better than the ones on Princess, the cappuccinos. Do credits expire at the end of cruise? So if you're doing back-to-back cruises, on Princess, I don't know about other cruise lines. If you're doing back-to-back cruises on Princess, your credits will move over to your next cruise. I don't know what happens if you leave, if that credit is gone. I think it's gone. Andrea's on here. Andrea's the one that told me that. Andrea's the one that told me about the great cappuccino. Have you ever watched Nathan and Kara? Nate and Kara? Yeah. I knew Nate and Kara way back in the day before they blew up, and we used to chat. They probably wouldn't know me from Adam now, but back in the day we used to communicate as fellow vloggers. I mean, Kara and Nate are some of the most watched travel vloggers in the world. For your weight loss, what do you eat? Oh, you said they've done some cruising. Yeah, I'm sure they get sponsored, which by the way, I will never do, personally. Refundable credits will get mailed to you. Okay, refundable credits will get mailed to you. I wonder if that's onboard credit though, like that you get just for cruising. Maybe if you prepaid, they will. I don't know. Yeah, Kara and Nate are great. They're amazing. If I missed your question, please re-ask it. We're only 10 thumbs up from 400. Can we get to 400? Yeah, Eamon and Beck are great. They used to travel a lot with Kara and Nate way back in the day. Remember, I used to be a van lifer, and that's what made Eamon and Beck famous. Kara and Nate were already famous travel vloggers before that, but they did van life during COVID, which really helped their channel. I was on Holland America and they confiscated a guy's 12-pack while boarding. Yeah, I don't really drink, so 400 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Are you having food and beverages on your table now? Yeah, I've drank it all. I've got a water and I got a Coke right when I got on board. Kevin, you look great with the light blue. Oh, you're too kind, Elvie. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of my only unbound merino pieces. This is from Lululemon. Most of my shorts are from Lululemon because it's great travel fabric, but they made this light blue travel shirt that goes well with my blue blazer, my blue Bonobos blazer, unstructured. I'd love to know the channel name story too. Oh, I didn't know you didn't know that, Emma. So in the military, in the Navy, when you go on a cruise, you do a countdown to when you'll return home to your family. So if you have a 180-day deployment, 180-day cruise, you'll say I have 179 days and a wake up before I get back. When I first started this channel, I lived in a different country every 30 days, hence the name 30 and a wake up. Every 30 days, I would wake up in a new country. So that's where the 30 and a wake up comes. Speaking of van life channels, Van Vita Travels is in the house. If you love van life, go subscribe to Van Vita Travels. She's always building out something new on her channel. And she's also one of my moderators. My dog's asleep. Kevin's voice is soothing. Yeah, I have I have people that have messaged me before saying don't take this offensively, but I put your live streams on at night. Number one, because they're super long sometimes, especially some of my old ones, because your voice puts me to sleep. So my content is so boring, people turn it on instead of the sounds of oceans and stuff like that. They turn that on to put them to sleep. That is funny. Your beard looks great also, thank you. It looks super white because of I got the sun right here, so it's really much blacker than it appears. But whatever. I'll look like Santa Claus soon. Emma says, I love watching the trucks. We'd say lorries in the background. Are you talking about these trucks? Or are you talking about RVs? I don't know. Kevin, we love your smile and your soothing. Oh, Jesus, stop. Yeah, very cool. I haven't seen a blue sky in a few months in the UK. Emma, when are you gonna come over and cruise some Caribbean? Like, you know what, Emma? Come over to Caribbean. Let's see, where am I at? Join me on MSC Seaside. It's a very affordable cruise in May. Or don't join me on NCL Breakaway. It's not very affordable. But I did it because I wanted to try their studio cabin out. It's $140 a night. That's the most I've spent on a cruise per night. But the MSC cruise on Seaside, I think it is, maybe Seashore, one of those two, out of Miami. 14 days, I think it was $1,000, so like $80 a day. So come over, do the Caribbean, and then hop on Island Princess and it'll take you all the way back to London. Thankful Journey says I lost 10 pounds on our last 17-day cruise. That's awesome. For those who don't know, I just published a video today. I lost 9 pounds on my last 21-day cruise, and I tell you how I did it. I mean, I'm no doctor or anything, but it worked. And I still fit in a cookie or two into my diet. And I had a fufu cappuccino, at least one every morning, sometimes two. And I still lost 9 pounds. Oh my God, everyone listens to my channel to fall asleep. Do people try to avoid your camera? So if you've ever watched my videos, you'll rarely see anybody in them. I'm not one of those in-your-face travel vloggers. I usually get up early in the morning to shoot a video about a topic, so you will rarely see people in my video. I usually use the prime lens on my iPhone, and so it blurs out the background a little bit. Like you can kind of see that guy. Usually I won't even have people in the background of my live streams. But yeah, normally it's not an issue for me because I don't vlog that way. I'm not like walking around the ship. When I first started travel vlogging, if you've been following me, I used to have a big setup. I had the whole Ben and David. If you ever watch Ben and David, another great cruise vlog, they have the gimbal, they have the big giant camera, the prime lenses, the big prime lens. I had all that, but I did it by myself, which is a huge pain in the ass and really difficult for a one-bag traveler like myself. And I realized 99% of the filming an iPhone can do is just as good as a $20,000 camera setup. The stabilization is probably better. And so I just decided to just film with my iPhone. I do use audio equipment. I use a very simple setup for that. I tell everyone the most important thing with videos is audio. And so I have Velcro on the back of my iPhone, and I have this Rode Video Mic Pro. It's a wireless mic. That's what I'm using right now. I use it for my videos. You'll almost always get crisp audio. Undress for you here. It has a windscreen on it, so even when it's windy, that's why I'm out on these cruise ships and it's super windy and you don't even notice, is because I have a windscreen on my wireless mic, and the receiver is right here on my belt. So it's wired, obviously, but it's wireless to my phone. And that's the most important thing as a vlogger, in my opinion. People will watch crappy video. People will not stay around if you have bad audio. So the number one thing is get good audio, and this one's good. I'm actually gonna get another one of these that gives me 2 mics, so I can do more interviews on board. I got Chile Cruises coming on board a cruise ship that I'm gonna be on in April, and I'd like to interview him about cruising with mobility issues, which is what his channel is focused on. As a solo, what is the first thing you do on board to meet others? I go to the solo meetup. Usually, first thing I do is I join the Facebook page for the cruise, and usually there'll be people who are solos that'll post things about being solo, and that's where you'll meet a lot of people as well. Always look for the Facebook page for your cruise. Type in the cruise ship you're going on, like MSC Meraviglia. Today is, I don't even know what today is. Today is 19 Feb. Type in MSC Meraviglia, 19 Feb, and it will usually have a Facebook associated with that cruise, the start day of your cruise. And there'll usually be 200 to 300 people on. 30 of them will be solos. You can meet people that way. I always go to the solo meetups. The first one especially, that's the most important one, and meet up that way. And then that's how you do it. You have an affiliate link for that mic. It's probably down in my notes. All my affiliate links are down below. Anything I talk about, if you're gonna book a Princess cruise, I got a link down there, get you 30 or 25 bucks onboard credit, gets me 25 bucks. And also I have another link that if you use it, you'll get 1.5% cash back for Princess cruises, which is a substantial amount if you book an expensive cruise, and 4% for celebrity cruises, which I can't wait to use. I mean, on a $2,000 cruise, that's, what is 4%? 80 bucks, it's nothing to sneeze at. But yeah, all my affiliate links are down below. And it's all stuff that I use, I've vetted. I don't ever advertise anything that I don't use. Merino Wool, I was wearing their stuff for over a year and a half, and they reached out to me, said we want to give your subscribers 10% off. And the only reason I agreed is because I had wore their stuff for 10 years. Like this suitcase I have, I haven't really endorsed it yet, but I really like it. And they offered me a 10% off code. I haven't agreed to it yet because I haven't used it long enough, but yeah. It's good, I like it. All right, question, can you bring your own drinks? I think you can bring some. Every cruise line's different, check their website. Every cruise line has different rules. They allow a certain amount, but it varies cruise line to cruise line and depends on what the drinks are. I mean, there are cheating strategies where you can just fill water up with vodka, I've heard of. I don't know, I wouldn't do that personally, but yeah. What else? Yeah, that's all I really know. I'm a terrible live streamer. All right, if you have questions, ask them again. My stuff is just moving way too quickly for me to keep up with it. You can use Google Fi as a carrier with iPhone. Yeah, you can use Google Fi. You can use iPhone with Google Fi. I use T-Mobile now. T-Mobile, I just like it better than Google Fi for travel, even though it doesn't give you 4G like Google Fi does in a lot of countries. It gives you 3G and you can buy a 5-day international pass. It also gives you, for a cruiser, it gives you 5G coverage in a lot of the Caribbean countries, not all of them, but a lot of them, and in Mexico and Canada, which is great. So yeah. Do they have mingled events for single and solo cruisers? Yeah, depends on the cruise line. Princess really sucks at single solo events, but every day they'll have a solo meetup on Princess on the schedule to go to. I don't know about MSC, I haven't cruised them yet. I'm assuming it's probably similar. Where are you going to next? If you're talking about cruise ship, I'll be on the Enchantment of the Seas for a month. Royal Caribbean's Enchantment of the Seas out of Baltimore. 3 separate cruises, 3 different itineraries. That'll be my next ship. I'm on MSC Meraviglia. I just boarded today, and we're leaving for 11 days. I know this sounds crazy. I have no idea where we're going other than Ocean Cay. I don't even look at the itineraries after I book them. I look at the schedule I get the morning before or the day before, and I go, oh, okay, tomorrow we'll be in Nassau. So to be honest with you, I have no idea. Other than Ocean Cay, I know we're going to Ocean Cay because I'm super excited about it. But other than Ocean Cay, which is MSC's private island, I don't know. Are you getting T-Mobile with the military discount? Yes, I am. They do, for those of you who are retired military, you can get a decent deal through T-Mobile for an international plan. 2.5 years in, debating getting out because there's no advancement exam for E3 to E4. That sucks. That sucks. I mean, I'm so thankful I did it because of the retirement, I get. It's makes being able to kind of do what I want to do. It gave me a lot of runway for, becoming a full-time YouTuber. It took me 2 years to make money on YouTube, any kind of money. So I've been doing this for 4 years, if you didn't know. I mean, even Emma will be the first to tell you. I think Emma's been doing, I don't know how long Emma's been doing YouTube, but probably 6-7 years. And it's only been recently. I mean, I was subscribed to Emma when she had under 10,000 subscribers. I think significantly under. I remember having a chat with her back in the day. I think I actually had more subscribers than her back in the day. That tells you how good she is, how good her content has become, how fast she's grown. But yeah, I'm almost positive Emma's been doing it for like 6 years. And I don't know when she started making money, but it's probably not until recently. So YouTube it's definitely a marathon, but once you get to a certain point, it will start generating revenue. I'll give you an example. I did an apartment tour in Pattaya Beach, Thailand, and that video last month made me $700. It still generates money, even though it's well over a year old. My most popular video, which has 2 million views, that video still makes me $500 a month. I shot that video probably 3.5 years ago. So once you start getting content that gets a lot of views regularly, it's easier to make money making YouTube videos because your old content is like, I think of it like a little rental property. Like once you buy it, it continues to generate income. It's like a little rental. It's like a little rental house that you get rent checks from every month. It varies how much you get, but yeah. Baltimore is a great port, not too busy for cruise lines. Yeah, I love Baltimore, the city. I went to law school in DC. I used to go to Baltimore. I love the food there. The seafood there is freaking top notch. I'm excited about going there, and yeah. If you have any questions, ask them. We're at 416 thumbs up. If you haven't smashed it yet, I think getting up to 500 thumbs up is probably a little bit too ambitious. But maybe we can get to 450, which would be amazing. Baltimore's a great port, yep. Hello, Kevin, dropping by to say hi. Gator Jake, there's one of my buddies, one of my Thailand buddies. Go Orioles. You're an Orioles fan? I'm a Cardinals fan from St. Louis, born and bred, so. What is my favorite seafood? Probably clam chowder. Probably clam chowder. I do like salmon though, grilled salmon with like a salsa on it. Not salsa, a pico de gallo on it. Are you going to post a room tour? Kimberly, yes. I usually do a cost breakdown of my cruise at the end of the cruise so I know exactly what it costs with everything I bought, like internet and all that stuff. And in those cost videos, I started off with a room tour so you know what I paid for. So you know what my inside cabin looks like. But yeah, that's usually where my room tours are. If you watch my last cost video for Princess Cruise, my Princess Cruise on Sky Princess, which was about last week, I think. That video is doing really well, by the way. It already has 20,000 views, which is awesome for 1 week in a new genre. So I really appreciate you guys watching that. But that has my room tour. I love that room I had on there. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I love Princess's closets. I love their closets. And some people don't like the shower curtain on Princess. I like it. We'll see. I've never had a shower without a shower curtain. MSC, I believe, has the doors, so we'll see which one I like better. I haven't been to my room on here yet because I've been chatting with you fools. Get a cream of crab and crab soup. Actually, you know what? Crab cakes are my favorite seafood. I love a good crab cake. Favorite cruise line? I can't answer that question because I'm new to cruising. I know it seems like I might not be, but I'm pretty new to cruising. I've done a lot of research. You know, I was researching cruising for 6 months. I've got 5 different cruise lines booked. I just came off a 21 days on Sky Princess, but I haven't sailed a lot of cruise lines. Most recently, I've sailed all Princess. So if I had to say something right now, it would be Princess because I love the medallion technology. I love it. It's hard to go back to a card, although this black card, you know, diamond status, it's pretty nice, but it's hard to go back to a card. Although I've heard you can get a medallion on MSC for a price, so I'm gonna go see if I can get that later. Cream of crab is fabulous. I will try that. I'll go to GM for crab cake. All right. What's going on, Craig? How you doing, man? Craig's been going back and watching all my old videos and commenting on them. You can get the band for $12 in the Photoshop. Okay. And it functions like the card, because I hate having to carry around a card again. Any luck in the casino? Yeah, I won $1,000 in my last. I got $150 casino credit, and I won $1,000. I don't really do casinos, but they keep giving me casino credit. Princess just gave me $300 casino credit on my next cruise, and I only gamble with the casino credit. I think it should be free with Diamond, yeah. G&M is the best crab cakes in Baltimore. Places to dive, though. I love dives. That's my favorite type of places. So, how are cruise ship ladies versus land ladies? I think they're the same. I don't think there's a lot of difference. Most cruise ship ladies are actually land ladies 95% of the time. I'm 12 hours into your content. Whoa, man. Do you miss the military? I miss some things about it, but I'm glad to be retired. Do you play pickleball? I don't, but I really want to get into it. I've got some medical issues I'm still dealing with, but once I get fully healthy, I definitely want to pick up pickleball. For those that don't know, pickleball is kind of like tennis. How long am I booked on MSC? Oh yeah, please. I am on this cruise for 11 days, and then I go to Royal Caribbean Enchantment of the Seas for 28 days, and then I go to Caribbean Princess for 28 days, and then I go to Norwegian Getaway for 10 days in a solo cabin, and then I go to MSC Seaside for 14 days, and then Island Princess for 33 days. There you go, there's my whole schedule. Is there anything on a cruise that you would love to see or do? That I would love to see or do? Antarctica and the Galapagos. My wife and I met in the Navy. I wish we would have stayed in for 20. Yeah, man, dual retirement income, that'd be great. Two military retirements, you'd be living La Vida Loca. Have I ever done Virgin Cruise? No, but I'm trying to book a Virgin Cruise. They only have 2 cruise ships. They've got another one on the way, so it's really hard to get booked on a Virgin Cruise, especially the way I do it, which is last minute bookings. All right, folks, I think I'm gonna go find my cabin. Thank you for showing up. Sorry I started so early compared to what I said I was gonna do, but thank you for showing up, hanging out with me. Thanks for all the new channel members that joined, the ones that Kaylee gifted. Thank you again, Kaylee, for that. The 2 that joined on their own, the super chats I got, and all of you people for being subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're almost at 100K, which is awesome. I gotta think of some special way to celebrate that. I'm super excited about it. Maybe I'll do it like Emma did and go get some chips, fish and chips at a chips place. We shall see. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Check out my new video about how I lost 9 pounds on a cruise ship, because this live stream is probably going to kill that video since I just released it today. Thanks again, everyone. Retired Butcher Boy, thanks for stopping by. Go dancing, I will.